1% that you think the Earth could be stationary and planar, that's what keeps you in this?
What's that?
You said you're like 99.9% sure it's a globe. So the 0.1 that it could be planar and stationary for you, that's what keeps you in the discussions and involved and seeking?
No, I'm not seeking anything. I know it's a globe, and just trying to help people that have questions.
You're just doing like a public service, you feel? That's what you're...
That's a good question for you,
That's
Gio.
what you want to call it. I don't know. We're just a lot of us are just kind of interested in the conversation. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Gio, you know how you're always asking us, you're here because there's this lingering doubt in your mind. A question for you: what will you think of us when you realize it's a globe and people have been trying to help you for a decade? Like, what? How do you feel then?
All right, well, you've entertained a lot of my hypotheticals, so I'm happy to do the same. In terms of a hypothetical, let's say that you absolutely, just hypothetically, that the Earth was a sphere. With all due respect, like, let's say that we all came to that tomorrow, like, oh, okay, it's a sphere. Dude, I would think that what you guys have been doing is, I mean, I don't want to be rude, but it's strange to say the least, because I'll tell you, if I came to it being a sphere, I would never sit and talk about flat Earth. That would be so, even the way they claim, it's outdated. We've known this for over 2,000 years. If it was just such a basic truth about reality, I can't imagine being interested in it for one more second of debating people that would be incorrect about it. What would be the purpose of that?
Well, how could you sit here and debate? Like, it goes both ways, right? You're sitting here debating whether or not it's a globe, and you've created a channel around it and a server around it. So how much worse are we than you?
Well, no, but there's a difference because, well, I mean, the server is not only about necessarily the shape of the Earth per se, and it's not necessarily for, like, in terms of anything with the globe. I mean, it's obviously, I mean, that's kind of more of a multi-layer in terms of like the platform, but we do talk about a lot of these topics. I don't have any interest in really talking about a globe, though. Like, you guys bring it up or we discuss it. Obviously, it is like the mainstream model. But it is different because if the Earth were a globe and the way that the whole world, like the mainstream already claims that it's like a 2,500-year-old, they figured it out long time ago, and all these guys, Copernicus and Newton and all that. If it was that much of a foundational thing that actually was true, it would be such an overpowering truth, and it would just always be the truth. Therefore, if people thought it was flat, like some small group, I can't see any reason to go actually try to talk to them or try to convert them back. Like, it would be such a small number anyways. And the globe it should just be such strong evidence that it wouldn't need any defense. Like, it wouldn't need defending.
Well,
the truth would just be what it is. Whereas on the flip side, those of us that are saying it's not a globe, or some say it's stationary and planar, obviously, like, that is what draws us to this, is meeting others, talking to others, trying to get more figure stuff out. While we're doing that, you guys pop in and want to debate the globe, and so we debate the globe. But like, if the globe is not really brought up, we don't really discuss it. Like, it's not like Jeremy and I sit around. I mean, maybe sometimes it's brought up or whatever. It is the mainstream model. But I'm saying for the most part, like, we're actually just moving forward on doing everything we're doing, and then the globe guys pop in, and we debate it. But it's not like that's not like the focus necessarily. It's just like it's an ancillary to what we're saying. People want to come and debate it, and yeah, there's interest on both sides to have the discussion. I'm not saying it's one-sided. But it is different because, like, we're saying something obviously against the mainstream and then wanting to find others and wanting to talk about it. And so that's different than going off the thing that already is the mainstream that you think is so obvious and then going to this small group and trying to, like, convert them, or small, in comparison to the whole, and being into something you think is false, whereas we're into something we think is correct, So
I don't know about this server, but FE is 80% talking about the globe and Globers defending their model. So naturally, there would be Globers when the flat Earth discussions are around. Flat Earth discussions are very rare in flat Earth. That's why people get irate, and not when I say people, I'm not saying necessarily you guys or this server, but if you ask for give me a map, give me a model, that almost, like, that question isn't even taken literally. So flat Earth discussions is Globers coming and proving their evidence for the globe, prove the ISS, prove this, prove that, and So that's why there's globers around.
Or you want to just be like, hey, is it flat? Yep, it's flat. All right, it's flat. What would you want to discuss?
Yeah,
I've
but how
heard more
you're
times
out of
speaking
it.
about like uh talking about energy, talking about China versus US, Canada. We talk more about more other stuff than actual globe earthers, unless a globe earth is here that wants to
Yeah, but
try to defend something.
that's kind of what this server was established on. I mean, unless it's different, Geo. Because this you started this server right after Brandon closed his server, and that's kind of what it was about. Flat
No, he didn't
Earth.
really. He didn't. It wasn't. Well, I had been planning on launching this for a long time, and then Brandon's channel was going. I then launched this, and it did seem like he kind of only did like 4 or 5 more shows after that, and then he stopped. So I don't really know how that was like related exactly, because this had been a long time in the coming. But yeah, I mean, B-ball, obviously we talk about, I mean, if you look in like the welcome section, there's like a list of like a lot of the major topics, but we talk about a ton of topics. I mean, spirituality, religion, physics, different science things, obviously the earth, cosmology, all kinds of related topics, even like health and nutrition and, medical stuff. I mean, the whole wide range of all kinds of topics.
Yeah, that's good. Nothing's
But-
taken out of you for that. That's a good thing. And there's globers here that come to listen to that as well.
But in terms
Also,
of-
also for a point of like credit towards UGO and like a discredit towards that last claim. For the whole past year or so since TFE, at least here in EA, it's been nothing but flat Earth dual pole, like trying to make it all make sense on flat Earth. So I don't think that's a fair thing to say.
No one's being unfair to flat Earth. No one right now that you guys are talking to is B-Ball, me, and Roohif. None of us are being unfair to you. You're asking questions. You're getting the questions answered. Honestly, there's nothing unfair occurring. No one's criticizing you. No one's critiquing your character. It's just a conversation. No one's critiquing this server and saying this server that. It's just very honest. So I don't know where this is coming from.
But we talk a lot about models and maps and all kinds of things, and about what the Earth is. I mean, I think you were saying 80% of people out there talking about, you were saying flat Earth stuff, like out in the world. Is that what your comment was? You're saying that most of them don't talk about flat Earth. They talk about the globe. Was that your claim?
That's my experience tuning into most flat Earth discussions. It's going against globers, and it's the globers explaining their model like almost always. The flat earthers say, "Oh, well, how do you know this? How do you know that? Explain this, explain that." It's just the globers defending their model, so that's why they're around.
What's the matter?
What's wrong with that?
Oh, yes, go.
Hey,
I'm gonna come down a little bit.
There is no
Hey,
problem with
I
that.
think
This led from why are you globers around? There is no problem with that.
No, it led from a hypothetical that they were saying that if we all changed to the globe, would we still be involved in the conversation? I think, like, would we be like anti-flat earthers basically, and like coming, if you use that term, coming and like telling they're wrong and being all interested, but then like really like into it for hours and hours, but thinking they're just totally wrong and 25 years outdated, but still being really into it and all that. Yeah.
No, I think
That's
what
a
would
great
happen.
question.
Let's say you, Geo, you someday one day like decided, you know what? I think it is a globe because of the evidence. I think you'd be interested in staying in this topic and explaining how your journey, how you came from flat Earth to globe, and you want to talk about it. And you go ahead.
Yeah.
No.
So Babby Boone has posted one video in the chat, and I've posted a screenshot from it showing a curved horizon. So I want to ask Babby Boone, is the horizon flat or is it curved?
What did he say?
It's horizontally flat.
Oh, it looks like a curve to me.
He posted.
Yeah,
what are you
the
talking about? Wait, hold on. All the way up here at 33 after.
Oh wait, did he post a
30
video? Oh, let's see it. Yeah.
Yeah, he
let's see
posted
it.
a video at 36, and then I posted a screenshot at 37.
It's flat on the. It's flat on the. It's flat on the Z and on the Y. But here's the thing.
Wait, no, it's not.
It is. It just your eyesight works as like a parabola on a flat plane. And
Oh,
so
so
wanna ask Babby
it
Boone.
appears as at a curve, no matter where you look. That's just
Why?
I want to ask.
but it's
The
not
question is to
supposed to
Babby
be
Boone,
curved.
right?
That's the
Is
focal
the
point.
horizon
Hey,
is the
Roohif,
horizon in that footage curved or is it flat? Simple question for
Roohif, can I
Baboon.
ask
Oh,
a
it's
question
flat.
though? What's up with the
Wow.
sun?
What's wrong with the sun?
The
What's wrong with
question,
it?
the
Why
question
does
is
it
for
look
Babby Boone.
elongated?
The question for Babby Boone is the horizon curved or is it flat in that screenshot?
It's even curved below the center.
Yeah. Why is the sun looks elongated, bro?
No, that's irrelevant. The sun is irrelevant.
No,
Why
it's
is it
not
curved?
irrelevant. That means there's
Why is
something
it?
there's
This
something
is a
going on with the.
question for
curved?
Babby Boone.
It's
Is the
not
horizon flat?
irrelevant
I'm not
because
asking you, Elbow.
I
The sun
understand
is
it's not
irrelevant. Don't
irrelevant
forget.
I'm not asking
because
you either, Fresh. I'm asking Babby Boone, is the horizon flat or curved in that footage?
Footage or the picture?
The picture.
Picture it's curved.
yep.
Right.
So
Thank you.
all right. So my question now is, Roohif, why is the sun elongated? There's something
Why
wrong
is
with
the
the
sun
lens.
elongated?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks very
So where
distorted.
so where does the sun appear in this entire sun? Screenshot it, please. Let's see it elongated because I can't see it.
It's
Did you
about
not see the
my
sun on the screenshot that Roohif just posted?
At
Let me
37.
my
see.
compressed one.
Guys, I
Yeah,
don't know why you're getting triggered and taking the bait.
I'm looking at it at like
He's literally rage baiting you. He's
right
Go to
here.
30 go to 37 after. But while you do
37,
that,
right?
by the way, the thing
Compressed.
about the hypothetical, B-ball, here's my response. If somehow hypothetically, just to finish that, somehow completely hypothetically, like let's say, we all switch to the globe or whatever. The thing what I would do, if hypothetically, I would want to hang out with other people that know it's a globe and we're on the cutting edge of the globe, of the outer space, of whatever it is. That would make sense. And it would make zero sense to go talk to flat earthers. Like if they're just completely wrong. Anyways, I'm just saying in that extreme hypothetical, that's why I think it's interesting that you guys come here. Like you're coming to flat earthers for like cutting edge cosmology. Whereas if I really thought it was a globe, hypothetically, I would want to go to other globe earthers that are the most advanced, knowledgeable ones on what is true, right? Why would I want to go talk about some people that think something that's false? You know what I'm saying? I would want to just have like totally hypothetically, it'd be like a globe enthusiast group, which is what I would think you guys would be into. Like you guys would be like,
Wait,
because we already know it's a globe, so we don't have to do that.
hold on.
We're interested in.
That's why I took my career into the aerospace field. Because
Hold
I'm
on,
no, I
going.
mean,
Roohif.
Elmo, I
I'm
was just kind
flipping.
of,
I'm
Can I-
flipping
can
back
I-
to the globe.
Can I
Can I
say
get
something
next?
about this video though?
yeah,
What's
I was just
crazy
kind of
Can I
about
get
on
next?
that
hold on,
Can I
hold on.
get
What's
next?
crazy
I've been
about
trying
this
to ask.
video?
Roohif, did you squeeze
Okay.
that video, man? Did you
What's
distort
what's
that video?
No,
what's
of course,
crazy about
of
this
course he
video
didn't.
is that when the balloon takes off, it's in complete darkness, and then when it gets up high, the sun is way above the horizon.
Yeah, I understand that, dude. But the issue is when he just posted a screenshot and asked you it was it curved, but then that whole picture is distorted. Even and when you look at the actual
Compressed.
footage, hold on. When you look at the you compressed it. When you look at the actual footage from the thing, even the altitude meter or whatever is there is completely not the same size. Did you compress that, Ruhif?
Of
Yes.
course he did.
Of course I
Wow.
fucking did.
Wow.
What do you
He would
mean,
never do
wow?
that. He would
To
never
Do
do
try
you,
to
do
that.
you
make it
think
to try to
do you
make
Do you
it
think
know how
more
compressing
you
it? Hold on.
know?
pronounced, is it?
Hold on.
Do you know
Hold on.
how? Do you know how it's not the lens? Is if you get the same curve below and above the center.
You could
Hang
take a
on, Elbow.
picture with any camera of a ruler and you
No, 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 no,
squeeze
no, no,
it
no.
and it'll curve, dude.
We're
right.
talking
Yeah.
about if a straight line is in the image, not whether the object is straight, right? If there's a straight horizon in the image, compressing it does not make that a curve.
Again, all lenses are curved.
Understood. Did you not hear what I
So
just said though?
so even if there's a straight line that you see a straight line in the image, if you compress one, I actually taken a picture of a line drawn in Photoshop with my
No, no,
camera.
no.
I hold
Not the
on,
object.
shush.
Let him
Let me
finish,
finish.
Ruth. Let him
Let me
finish.
finish. Taking a picture of a camera done with Photoshop, straight line from when the ruler when you grab one of the ruler lines on Photoshop, posted in a picture, took my iPhone, took a picture, compressed it, it curves the line.
Yeah, but it won't be the same if you put
Hang
the.
on.
I want you to do this for me, right? Take a picture of something straight where it's above the center and then below the center.
No,
If it,
people. Don't take a photo of something straight. Draw a line on an image. Draw a straight
go.
line on an image, and then
There
compress
you go.
it.
Yeah, do that. And then make sure it's above the center and then below the center.
I'll do it live. Fuck it, I'll do it live.
Hold on, yeah, hold on.
There you
Somebody
go.
get Rob. Is
If you
Rob
draw a
on the
line
level in
an
here?
image and compress it,
Make
it ain't gonna
sure
do
he's
nothing.
in here
But
because
if
we've
there's
been
the
trying to figure
camera
out how to
taking-
draw a straight line for the past 3 years. If Roofy's just gonna whip out and do it, that's fucking amazing. Let's get this documented.
So if you're gonna draw a line with Photoshop and you draw a line and then compress it on the same Photoshop paper, it ain't gonna do nothing. But if you're taking a picture,
Right.
which that what it is, it's a bunch of images taken from with the camera. Camera all it does is take a bunch of images, put it together, and then you compress that. That's going to distort the lines, no matter what.
We're not talking about whether the horizon, whether the object in reality is straight, right? Babby is saying the horizon is flat in the footage. Right? He's saying in the footage it's a straight line, regardless of whether the lens has distorted it. And you are taking issue with me compressing it left to right, right? If it's flat in the image, right, compressing it does not make it curve.
Yes, it does. It does,
What-
bro.
No, it doesn't.
Jesus Christ. You could take.
Wait, what-
Okay, let's
what did
the
I
go to my
same
screen
thing
then.
happened. The same
say
thing
it's
happened. Hold on. The same thing happened with
You strawman me, so I just wanted to.
the same thing happened with when what's his name's McTool's picture. The table is a straight line, but yet in the
In
camera when you
reality,
compress it,
yes.
stop. God damn it, bro. I'm back. I'm backing out.
By the
No,
way,
come
I'm-
on.
In
just-
reality,
Well,
in
wait, can we let
reality,
Elbow finish?
the table might be straight, right?
Can we let Elbow
But you
finish?
take
his
a
whole point, though?
All right, go. He's just fucking strawmanning it. He knows
Well,
what's going
I
on.
know,
strawman
but
me.
let him say
You
his whole
strawman
point
me.
and then respond. Elbow, will you say the whole thing, please?
And once
don't
you
mind.
compress his image, that is a straight line, it looks completely straight. Doesn't look curved at all. But once you compress that image, the table bends. But that's a straight line.
Okay. In the
Yeah, remember when-
photo, it's not a straight line. Right?
Actually,
It might
remember
be straight
Jaron,
in
of all
reality.
people, remember Jaronism did a whole video on this of all people. Remember when he showed
Yeah.
that you can make a straight thing be curved if you compress it like this? This
Yep.
is like a parlor trick. This is bad.
No,
Don't do this.
no. You're both missing the
Also,
point.
strawman me. I never
right?
said that flat in the video. I literally, like, before this, to preface all of this, I said that according to the official Globe math, you shouldn't even see the curve at that height. So
Well, you can.
according to the Globe math, both the flat and the curved Earth, that it was flat in the video.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I know the videos. Can go
What did you
online.
bring it up for? Why did you bring it up?
I didn't bring it up. Are you insane?
What?
Were you listening to the room? Dude, go back to the live stream. I did not bring it up.
You did
I
bring it
brought
up.
up force the line. Force the line. Somebody said, "Why don't you buy your fuck, dude?"
Oh yeah, that was me. That was me.
Insane.
That was me.
You guys are insane.
All right.
I said that
Yeah.
somebody, this guy, as he just acknowledged,
That was me.
said,
That was
"Why
me.
don't you buy a freaking high altitude balloon and do it?" I said, "I've already seen high altitude balloon footage." Then he said, "All right, post it." I said, "Okay, whatever, I'll post it. I don't care."
Well,
was
the
trying to
reason
prove
why I
point.
brought that up is because like instead of spending millions of dollars to do force the line, you can do this like with like under $100.
Like I said, there's barrel distortions, bro. So that's never
Barrel
gonna give you proof of
distortion.
anything.
Barrel distortion is going to tell you whether or not there's distortion
Dude,
in
not
the
even the other
lens.
Globe in the room
But
agree that it's fucking definitive. You're the only one who fucking
wait.
thinks it's a test. God damn.
Hold on 1 second. If we're gonna say it's barrel distortion, right? Then we're gonna know if it's barrel distortion or not because when the horizon is below the center, it's gonna be concave,
Oh, there is.
right?
I'm pretty sure there's definitely concave images on that video. So
Probably.
Okay, well, okay,
There are.
but there are videos where where it's not concave below the center. So how do you explain those?
I don't know what you want me to do. That is not my video. I don't know. So
Well, you explain it by saying, you know what, maybe the horizon is actually curved.
no, you didn't say that. Again, I mean, there's like I
Okay,
said,
of
if
course,
all
of course,
cameras view
of course.
all cameras view your lens, your cone, all cameras are uh uh um are circular. So regardless of it's a barrel distortion. Regardless, even if you don't think there's any barrel distortion, there's definitely barrel distortion.
Well, some are less than others, right?
So doesn't matter. Regardless,
It does matter.
it's a moot point.
Well, okay, so then you're going to say, okay, even if I see a curve in the horizon, it's not actually curved.
Yeah,
Because you
even
guys
your
claim the
eyes,
horizon is
even your eyes,
flat. The
even your
horizon should
eyes.
be flat. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, even your eyes view in a cone shape. So you see in a circular path, you don't see a flat path. In other words, you don't see from left to right completely flat. So in other words, if you have land in front of you, it's gonna look circular all the way around because you see like in a 300. Well, what is it? 182. What's the degrees of you see in your eyes? I forgot.
80 something. 180. 180.
I think it's like
But you guys
1.
claim that the horizon is flat. So it should always be flat. It shouldn't be curved at any point.
And your eyes see further in front of you than this sees on your peripheral visions.
So it's your eyes that are making it look curved,
Yes.
not the lens.
The lens is what does the same thing too. So because they're based
Okay,
on your eye vector.
how would we know whether or not the Earth is flat or round if we're seeing a curved horizon?
Measure it.
Yeah, we've done that.
Measure
So
it.
what's next?
Where have you measured it?
We've done that.
Please explain.
You see
I'm
how
curious.
this goes in circles? It never
I mean,
stops.
no, I mean, he just made a claim that he measured the curve of the Earth, so let's see it.
Yes, we've measured the curve, and that's
How
not
did you
even
do
good
that?
enough for you.
How did you do that? And how far was the curve measured from what to what area in where?
I've
How
done
many
it in
times we have
Sydney.
to
I've
bring
done it
up?
in California. Yeah.
I mean,
What was the curvature
Shoeville's
rate?
done it. Jesse's done it. How many more people need to
What
do
was the
measure the curve?
Jesse have
I've
not
done it.
measured any curve.
I've done it.
Are you saying that you measure curve
Why
with your
haven't you
light? Is
done
that
it?
what you're saying?
Why haven't you
I mean,
done it?
are you gonna let me finish my question?
No,
No.
why haven't you done it?
Jeez, because what was my question?
You didn't say it. Go ahead. Ask your
Yeah, I
question.
did
That's
say
it's
it, but you
irrelevant.
spoke all over me, bro.
Ask your question, which is irrelevant. Go ahead.
But if it's irrelevant, I'm not gonna ask it. And I mean, because you have a conversation
Why?
with yourself.
Okay, so why haven't you done it then?
No, again, the question was, you said Jesse's done
Jesse
it.
ain't done shit.
Yeah, and
Okay.
what was the measurement then? Are you
Oh,
saying that
what's up,
with the
Jesse?
Seattle? Oh, I guess I won't finish the question.
That wasn't me. That was someone else.
Yeah,
Someone
that was
else
my
cut you
fault,
off.
Elbow. Go ahead.
Are you saying that he measured curvature with a theodolite, or he actually measured curvature? Because I don't think you can measure curvature with a theodolite.
Of course you
How
don't.
would you measure it?
No, he
if it was
didn't
there?
measure anything. He just observed something in his theodolite, and
So
then he claims he measured it.
Question:
give us
how
a
would
way
you
to
measure it? Yeah.
give us a way to measure it.
You can't. You guys are claiming it's a refracted image. It's not even physical, so you can't get an actual measurement to it. What are you talking
How do
about?
you? It's curved if you can't measure it.
We're not claiming it's curved. You are, and you can't measure it to say that it is. And that's
I'll
your
Okay,
own
ask
so how,
claim
Elbow
too.
how he
You
would.
don't have
How,
instrumentations precise enough to be able to measure the curve, so it's
yes, we
indistinguishable.
do.
That's why you
We
guys
do.
don't
But
even acknowledge it. You just treat it
yeah.
as flat.
So
we
when I
do.
ask
But I
Come
you,
on,
want to
man.
hear how Elbow
Come
would.
on, dude. Is this 2019 again?
no, it's 2026, and y'all are still flat earthers, which is ridiculous.
Yes.
Go ahead, Roohif.
Oh, I want to hear how Elbow would. Like he said, we can't do it with the theodolite. So how would we measure it?
It's your claim. You got to figure it out, man.
Yeah, with a
You should be able
theodolite.
to. You got to tell us.
I mean,
You tell us
You're
how to
saying
do
you
how
it.
did
can't
you do it,
distinguish it.
Roohif? How did you do it,
How do
Roohif?
you distinguish between flat Earth and globe?
How did you do it, Roohif?
Yeah, with a theodolite, which you reject, but how do
Yeah.
you distinguish between flat Earth and
What
globe?
was the distance you measured, and how much curvature was it?
Oh, between 30 and 80 kilometers
How did you do it?
with a theodolite.
You're
Yeah,
not
I did it with
explaining.
I did it
You
with
ain't explaining how you measured it though.
I did it with an auto level.
Yeah, that's another point. Yeah, so I got on a mountain, or got on the aqueduct, and pointed my theodolite at a mountain of a distance away, also of a known elevation, worked out what angle it should be on a flat Earth and what angle it should be on a globe.
In conclusion, so do you point at a mountain through a lens and did all that, and you again? That's how you think you measured curvature.
Yeah, which you reject, which is why I'm asking,
Why
if
do
you
I
reject
reject
that,
that?
how do you distinguish between flat and globe?
Why do
Because
you think
you
I
rejected
rejected?
it. You rejected it because you don't want to be wrong.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you're thinking.
you don't want to
I,
be wrong. After all these years of fighting against the globe, you don't want to be wrong. Be like, damn, I just wasted all this time thinking the Earth was flat, and I was
Imagine,
wrong.
Gio. You know, if I were to figure out that the Earth was a ball, you think I would be in here? I would not be wasting my time.
I know, but you're still here.
I
After
thought you
all
were
the
here to help us, B-Ball.
after
Honestly,
all the
that's what you
evidence
said
that's been
earlier.
presented, after all the evidence
Uh,
that's been presented,
B-Ball,
you're
did you hear
still
me?
here. No,
B-Ball,
I
did you
didn't.
hear
I
me
don't think
open my
so.
mic? You didn't hear me that time either. You just talk over
No,
everybody. I thought you were here to help people. Why don't you
no, I
help
don't.
us? So you're not going to
I
help
think
us?
we've
So you
given you more than enough.
lied earlier?
You don't
Weird,
want
bro.
help. That's the point.
No,
You
it's
don't
a
want
good
help.
point, B-Ball. It's a good point. You did say earlier you were here to help us, and now you're seemingly just
You-
kind
Geo, it's been 10 years.
of.
If you're still a flat earther after all this time, it's because you don't want the Earth to be a globe.
You come here, and then you tell us you're trying to help us. It's been
You
10
don't
years,
want.
B-Ball. It's
You
been 10
don't.
years.
You don't want. You don't want to be wrong.
It's been 10 years, B-Ball.
Yeah, I know. You don't want to be
Which is
wrong. That's an
Which is
ego
it? Are
thing.
you here to help us? Are
No,
you
No,
here
you
to
don't
help
want
us,
help.
brother?
well,
Do you
some
want
people
help?
actually, some people do want to be wrong because then they can learn what's right. So
Well,
that's
I mean,
actually
it seems like you don't because
no. We just
I
have a
mean,
different view. You're confusing not wanting something to be the case with actual different viewpoint on, let's say, the evidence, the observations, etc. I don't think anyone said that they wanted to be anything. In fact, anyone who, in general, thought the Earth was a globe and then went away from that was usually not something they wanted because of a lot of reasons. Like obviously going
there's
against the grain, it's going against the mainstream. There's family, friends. So actually, it's the opposite of what you're saying for most. Like I'm not speaking for everyone, but I don't think anyone necessarily
Geo. If
wants
it
to.
was, if if you guys would have an actual map and a model that explained the phenomena and the observations that we had, it would make a lot more sense. It would be a lot more convincing that the Earth wasn't a globe. But after 10 years, you guys still don't have that. And the globe definitely has a map and a model that explains all observations and phenomena, regardless if you guys say you
sure.
guys can't measure curvature and you look at the horizon and oh well we see this too far and you want to argue about refraction for hours and hours on end. I mean, like I said, it would make more sense and would be more convincing if you guys had a map and a model that worked better than the globe. But you
Hey,
don't, and you never will.
hey, Gio, would you waste your time at a Sasquatch server telling them that there is no Sasquatch?
Only if I thought Sasquatch might be real, then I would.
Whatever you
Exactly.
guys need to do to rationalize being flat earthers is cool with
Right.
me.
Because then
Exactly.
I might be onto the truth. You know what I mean? Like I spend my time on truth. I don't spend my time on non-truth. So yeah, I would only go there if I thought it could be true. There could be a gold nugget there.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of sort of psychoanalysis of us from you guys trying to
Are you
justify
kidding me? That's
being
what
flat
B-Ball's
earthers.
been doing for the last
Oh, geez,
hour.
I don't know, Rakia. Did you not see me lighting up, Rakia? I don't know. Did you not see me lighting up?
Yeah, I saw
Anyway,
you
there
lighting
seems to
up,
be a
and I
lot of,
saw
oh,
you.
you light up again. Oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. All right, you guys are psychoanalyzing us to try and justify being flat
No,
earthers
B-Ball
in
is
the absence, in the
no,
absence, in the
not
absence,
true.
in the absence, in the absence of evidence of map and model. The end.
Can we get back to the Sasquatch thing? Because I personally think Sasquatch is real. Guy just had a T-shirt on a while ago in the house I'm staying at in Miami. Has Sasquatch on it. He believes it's real. But the question was good, right? Would you go to a site that talked about Sasquatch if you didn't think it was real? And hell no, you
Oh,
wouldn't.
you want to?
But yet it's
Because
been 10 years. It's been 10 years, and y'all are still here.
Oh, you
Whatever you
want us
need
to
to
just go
justify
away
it.
and
Yeah.
leave you guys alone? You want us to go away and leave you
Yeah.
guys alone?
Honestly, yeah, I wouldn't care if I ever
Oh,
heard your
okay.
voice again.
Okay,
But
okay.
do you get the point about the Sasquatch site, or you just want to like laugh at people and talk down on me?
I
Like
mean, do you want to be laughed at?
the question was, as you try and ask questions, would you stay at the Sasquatch site for 10 years knowing that Sasquatch wasn't real?
I don't know. I have a thing about people trying to push something that's not true. I don't know. Maybe that's
Like
just me.
Sasquatch? Like
I
there's
don't
people
know.
on the internet
Maybe,
talking about
yeah,
Sasquatch, but you don't go
maybe.
there.
I would be at the Sasquatch site too. Sasquatch isn't real. Yep, I'll be there every day saying, "Yep, you guys are wrong. This is why."
You would? So wait, do you think Scientology is wrong? Do you go there every day?
Maybe I would. Maybe I would if I was into that. Sasquatch isn't real, and here's why.
I think you're just making up shit because we're making you sound like it's weird.
Okay. Okay. It's weird. I know.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever you need to
Okay.
justify it.
Earth
Okay.
is Earth is flat, but everything else says it's a globe. That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird that a huge group of people say it's not, and really the big group that says that it is a globe don't really know anything about it. They're just told. They're
Oh,
just
we know
like
plenty about
manipulate
it.
it.
Oh, we know. Oh, we know
Yeah,
plenty about it.
I'm not sure. I wasn't talking about you actually. If you would just listen once in your life, like try and help me. You know, you either
I'm
lied
listening.
about or you claim to do. And I
I'm
think it's
listening.
just a lie, basically, because that's just the script. Like just like your other guys that come here and say they're trying to teach us, like because we're so ignorant. You know what I'm
I'm
saying? That's
listening.
basically been the script for 10 years. That's
I'm
also
listening.
weird that it's been 10 years. Y'all have been using the same damn script. Like
What
tonight,
script
a
would you
new
like us
year,
to use?
2026 is the same thing. We're trying to help you. We're trying to teach you for 10 years. Y'all been saying
I
the same
know,
thing.
and
Same people.
you guys still haven't gotten it. I know it's tough. It's tough. You still haven't
Still don't
gotten
have a
it.
map and a model. We've been asking the same map model
You know,
question for 10 years.
y'all know that people are listening to both sides of this right now, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Okay. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it
Like,
wouldn't be expected that we would have an entire map and model if as a human race we've been lied to about the true shape of the Earth. It would not make sense that anybody would unless they independently mapped and modeled the entire realm, like let's say the military has with probably trillions of dollars, like what they might have. Like if you could get to what
You
they
don't
have,
need
they
military,
have modeled
Gio.
it, but they've used billions, if not trillions of dollars to do so. So it would not make sense that we would have an entire map and model. And then the other side, I would say, B-ball, is that actually, like, just what do you think of this? That you actually, like, would you agree with this? If you were being fully intellectually honest, not even like in a debate point or anything like that, just in general, that you actually don't have a map or model either. What you have
Oh,
is
we
you have
do. Oh, we do though.
hold on, let me finish. You have an adherence to a map and model that other men claim is true, and you might adhere to it, or you think certain evidence point towards it, but you yourself, I don't know what your real first name is, but you, Earth is Life, B-Ball, you yourself, as who you are, don't actually have a map or model either. You just have one that you adhere to. So if
No,
folks just
so okay. So let me respond to that. Let me know when you're done.
it's all right, go ahead. I might have just ended up repeating myself.
So yes, I have a map that I adhere to that other men have created, right? But the thing is, I can go and test that model that those other men have created. And guess what? Every time I test it, it matches perfectly. Every single time. When I test
that's just
phenomena,
not true.
when I test you know, where the sun should be at certain times, when I test the cloud cover, when I test the curvature, it all matches exactly what we would expect if the Earth was a globe. If it didn't, at some point, if there was a time when I said, you know, when I said, you know what, there's gonna be a lunar eclipse on this day at this time in this location, and it was a few days off, I would have serious questions about that. But the problem is every time we do that, it matches perfectly. So that's what tells me that the map and model that those men that have created that it actually works. And it matches reality every single time.
saying it matches reality every single time perfectly. It's just not true, man.
It
You're
is
either
true.
deceiving people, you're either deceiving the audience, or you're ignorant of the fact that it doesn't match
Okay, so
perfectly.
tell
Measurements
me.
of the Earth. I'm not
But let
sure
him
why
finish.
this happened.
Yeah, let him
God,
finish,
oh.
bro. And then, dude, go ahead, Rocky. B-Ball, let him finish. Then respond.
And to be honest, B-Ball, you're over talking the owner of the server. Bad enough you overtalk me, but I
I'm not
overtalk
talking
you.
right
But
now.
anyway,
Go ahead. I'm not talking. Go ahead.
yeah, you don't control it though, man. Just chill, bro. Try and help me, honestly. Like, to say it happens perfectly, I couldn't say that even as a Glober because it doesn't. That wouldn't be the truth. It doesn't always match perfectly. The measurements that even the Globers have done don't match. The drop rate doesn't match perfectly. You're talking about an eclipse that, okay, let's say that part matches perfectly with the everything that you say is mapped out and modeled out, right? That's just one thing. But to say everything matches perfectly, it's just not true, man.
Okay, so which ones specifically don't match? Is
No,
it the
I'm
ones
fine with you.
where you guys hold on? Is it the
You
ones where you
asked your
guys
question,
look
bro.
at the horizon? Is it the one where you guys look at the horizon and then we sit here and argue about refraction for 3 hours?
I would
That's
say
fine.
there's many. I don't know if Roohif wants to jump in here and pick a side and maybe try and strawman it or whatever, but I'm not willing to do that. I mean, it's been 10 years, bro.
I
If
know
you
it's
don't know
been
the
10
answers
years.
by now, yeah,
We've
why
gone
do you think?
we've gone to Antarctica. We showed a 24-hour sun. We've shown balloon footage that matched the curvature. We've seen countless lunar and solar eclipses that match the globe perfectly. So what else do you want, man? What else can there be?
I personally don't need anything. I mean, I'm fine with you asking that, but you're saying even the balloon footage matches perfectly? No, it doesn't. The 24-hour sun doesn't like prove 100% that it's one way because you don't know all the factors. Like, it's just weird, bro, that you say it matches perfect. Like I said, you're
It does.
either ignorant of how people think about things, or you're just trying to deceive, which is not good either way. But I want to make one last point before I check out. I mean, y'all have had 2,000 years, right? Y'all claim it's been happening for 2,000 years. This has been taught. You've had all the universities, you've had all the authority figures, you've had the government, you've had the media, you've had all of science for 2,000 years, and yet there's a huge population, and it's growing, that don't think it's true.
Well, that's sad. It's pretty sad.
It is that. I know y'all are that terrible at teaching and helping people that in
No,
2,000 years
you guys
you
are
still have
terrible at
educated.
learning. That's the
You still
problem.
you can't even speak in a farm that you're not supposed to overtalk. And remember, when people are telling you please don't do it, the next time someone talks, you overtalk. Like, that's how ignorant this has gotten.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else?
Well, no, but his point, I mean, there was some interrupting clipping, but well, go ahead, Rocky. If you want to say the rest of your point.
No. Whatever. I mean, that is my point. He's making my point for me. Again, it's just weird that give me the media. I don't know. I think it happens both ways. I mean, if you take all of science and all the teachers and all the authority figures and all the media and teach flat Earth, that some people would still believe in the globe, right? So I don't fault it. Go ahead, man.
They believe in the globe because
obviously are willing
because
here to help people. You really want to help really bad because that's why you cut in
you don't
every
want
time.
you don't want help. Don't say you're here for help because you don't want help. It's okay. You're stuck in your ways. I get it, man. You're stuck in your ways. You're never going to believe
confusing the fact that I would want your help.
You're never going to. You know why? Because your ego is stopping you from saying, you know what, I've been wrong for all these years.
Or
and
maybe,
you know what?
you're just projecting. Maybe you're just projecting because that works both ways, buddy. You're a man. You have an ego. Maybe you don't want to admit you've been wrong all these years.
I've been right for all these years, and my ego will not allow me to say that B-ball has been right and I have been wrong for all these years. That's why.
Or we're both wrong. Or we're both wrong, and our
No, we're
egos won't
not both
allow it.
wrong. One of us
So
are
there's
right.
no way you can be wrong. That's
One of us,
ego,
no,
bro.
absolutely not. There's not.
Yeah,
There's no way
that's
for it
about
to.
as ego.
There's no way
That's
for it
about
to.
as egotistical. That's the
Yeah.
definition of
No,
egotistical.
that's called objective reality. That's what that's called.
The asymmetry
Objective
that we've
reality.
had for a decade is that we have a working map and model and you don't. We're not the same.
And you never will.
I have plenty of maps and models that work, and
And
Okay.
none of them are
Let's
flat
look at
Earth.
those.
None of them work for
flat Earth. Well, I would agree
None
with
of them.
that. All of them have elevation changes based on rise over run, but all of them are based on a flat baseline, a horizontal baseline.
Yeah, locally, sure.
Make
We'll
those
give you that.
maps and models, Roohif.
Locally,
Again?
sure. We'll give you that.
You
Locally.
make those maps and models.
Sorry, did I make those maps and models? No.
Yeah. Oh, so you didn't have no? They have. They made it. They've.
Sure.
All right. They came up with it. So why are you
Right.
trying to ask us something that you haven't done yourself?
I didn't say we did. I didn't say I did it. I said we are on the side of having a model that works, just as B-Ball spent 5 minutes explaining to you.
Right. How long did it take that model to be developed?
I don't know.
Was it
2,000
How,
10
how long
years?
does it take to check?
What was it?
How long
10
does it take to
years?
check?
Give me an average. What do you think it would? What did it take? Did it take 10 years?
Look, you can come up with whatever map model you like.
No,
Have you
I'm
tested the
asking
globe?
you. What? How
Yeah, I
long
don't
do you
know.
think? You don't know. Do you think it would be 100 years? 200 years?
I don't know. We've known it's a globe for thousands of years.
No, no. They didn't know. They speculated. They assumed, and they
Okay,
did a bunch
whatever.
of stuff before they had even a conceptual model. Matter of fact, who was it? Pythagoras thought that was it Pythagoras? Thought they were just gods that created beautiful spheres. He was religious.
Oh, shit. Whoops. Hang on.
So
No, fuck up.
There are a lot of issues with the model. I mean, of course, there's dark
Are there,
energy,
though?
dark matter, which, I mean, one, you guys will try to kind of play that off, but it does have to do with how the sky works in terms of dark energy and dark matter. The observation of where curvature should be is missing all the time, very, very frequently, and you guys have to use refraction adjustments to try to account for that, even going to the point of an infinite radius. So it's really not predictable. It's very poor, actually, at predicting, other than if you just adjust it and add a radius value into it ad hoc.
Gio, how much governmental funding did you think had gone into this?
Said before, billions, if not trillions, over all the years.
Right,
Yeah.
What would you like to spend money on to do to discover or map the Earth? What do you need?
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, enumerate it. What do you need?
Yeah,
Not just
whatever
give me
it
a bunch
takes.
of money.
Whatever
Yeah,
it
what
takes.
does it take?
Measurements.
Yeah, what does it take?
I mean, it would take measurements. It would actually take a lot of photographs from aerial photographs that we could actually make maps out of, not just attach it to a model like what Google does.
Okay, so measurements like you got to fly a plane up and take some photos.
Yeah, I mean, how
Or
long did you
satellite
think?
images.
How long would you think it take and money? How long would you think that would take?
I don't know and I don't care.
Well, see, so I mean,
Not
that's
relevant.
the thing. You're asking for something of us that don't have the financial backing of that the Globe quote unquote model had, and you're expecting us to produce something in the last 10 years. Come on, man.
Is he
Be
road running for
realistic.
everyone else or just me?
Be realistic, man.
He's coming through good for me.
Oh, crap. You're roboting as well, Jesse, for me. Sorry. Yeah, I heard bits of it. You and Geo keep claiming we need these billions of dollars to do measurements, right? Can you actually like put in in some document what you would actually do?
Yeah, give us some time.
Oh,
Give
he's
us some
made my
time.
reception shit.
So we can actually come up with some ideas and be able to try to figure out what would it take to actually map modeled and creative. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna take years of research. But I mean,
Bible says you can't do it. I'm gonna go with that.
That's true. I mean, it says we can't measure the entirety of the earth. That's true.
What would you do?
Of this verse.
Somehow it cut off for me.
Is this just one of those metaphorical verses? Not literal. Is there a literal verse in the Bible if you're a Christian Glober?
Not percent. There's not no
Think
verse
back.
in the Bible.
Think back. What?
Yeah,
I know what it means. What do you think it means?
The Earth is
Just
rotating.
okay,
What
okay.
do you
Then
mean by
make it
begging the
make
question?
sense. Make the observation make sense on flat Earth.
What do you mean by begging the question? Like, what do you think
Look
begging
it
the
up,
question
Fantasy,
is?
if you don't understand it.
I know what it means. What do you think it means?
He said when people say make it make sense on flat Earth, it's like I can't increase your comprehension skills, bro. That's on
Yeah,
you.
make it make sense. Make it make
No,
sense.
what does that mean?
That's on you to be able to
No,
understand
no,
information.
you make it make sense for me.
Right.
No,
I
dude,
think
I don't
what
think
elbow
you're picking up what
means.
he's putting down. Like we can't make something make sense to you.
No,
It's
you
a
can't. I know.
that's
I
a
know you can.
that burden of capacity to make a silly person not understand or like properly to understand the situation. Dude, what is that even
Here we
a
go.
statement or
Let's
Yeah, and
demand
we
or
try
don't
this.
request?
owe you anything.
Let's try this. Let's try
We
this.
don't owe you anything.
No,
Let's use an
you can
observation.
sit tight, man. You're making demands that aren't even physically possible or psychologically. That's
Yeah, we
ridiculous.
know.
You don't even
Give me a second.
recognize the flaw in your statement.
Give me a second. Let's make this make sense. Hold on.
Acknowledge the flaw in your statement.
Let's make this
Acknowledge
observation
that you've
make
been
sense.
told the truth for years and you still just
Nope.
deny reality. Acknowledge
Let's
that.
make this observation make sense on flat Earth. Give me a second. I should be posting right now. Hold on. 9:36. Let's make this observation make sense on
Wanna
flat
go on,
Earth.
Roohif?
People, you're a waste of time to talk to, dude. You know
Okay.
that. We all know that.
Okay, let's look at the observation. Let's make it make sense.
Yeah, do you have a flat Earth model that explains this?
What's your obsession with models, man?
Okay.
Well, models
That's
are nice.
That seems like a
It's not a
concession.
scientific model to me because we're not testing any natural
That sounds
phenomena.
like a concession. Let's make it make sense.
Okay, where's the sun going in that? It
The sun's going straight down.
Are you asking me?
Straight down, right? Vertical.
Oh, you're asking him.
Yeah, how does it get to the other side of the, how does it get back
Have you guys
to the
ever like, looked into what Snell's law is before?
Yes.
Oh,
Have you
Snell's
ever
law.
They
seen
do, but
that
they ignore
an
it.
object in a different media at a distance will be magnified and refracted away? And it'll
Okay,
be
how
just
does
like
the
that.
sun get back to the east to rise?
How does 1,000 other things that you're going to ask me happen? Well, probably think about it, dude.
Which model
That's fine.
explains this better?
I like the idea that it literally, like, you say, what if you say something? You guys say Pac-Man, and then I saw one of like if the sun is not a going was it gas ball in the sky, right? Like it's a point of focused light. And then Gatebreaker had this animation that was cool, where like the sun almost like if you're looking down upon the map, the sun almost like popped up into the field of vision and then flipped over to the top,
Okay.
over to the other side. So it could almost like phase out of its kind of it's kind of like Pac-Man, but it just phases out of its focal point and then it comes back in on the eastern side. And it's perfect. Like,
That's totally believable, right?
I mean, it's for all kinds of assumptions, man. Again, there's a lot of things that you don't know yourself. That you're saying, oh, this is what happened, but you don't really know that, man. This is that's the whole
I know
point.
that I can. You know what
You
I
don't
know?
know that.
I can. You know what I know about this? I can recreate this observation right here in my garage.
Okay, still, you don't know exactly if that's what's actually happening.
You know what? But you know what? I can recreate this phenomenon.
But again, right? You don't know
using a
exactly.
globe. Hold on.
You don't
Using
know
a globe.
exactly, right? Yes or no? Answer my question.
Using a globe
Can you please stop?
and a
Let me
light
ask you my question. Do you really know exactly that is what's happening?
So I was able to recreate that observation just using a ball, a camera, and a light source.
it's pretty rudimentary. So I don't know,
it.
man. I don't really understand what you're trying to show here.
That's it.
It doesn't show refraction. It doesn't show the
We're not
source
trying
of
to
the light
refract.
coming from below the horizon, right?
We're not trying to call that.
You're not. Dude, there's so many things. You think it's such a brilliant one, but I don't really just. Okay.
All
I don't know
I'm
if anyone
trying to
else
show
wants
is
to
the path
tackle
of
this,
the
but
sun. That's it.
dude, congratulations.
All I was
Your
trying to show is the
horizon's
path of
all
the sun.
mucked up.
So, Ritsky, where is your physical demonstration of the mechanism that causes sunsets?
It's
So
just
what would
the
I need
path
to
of
do?
the sun. That's it. It's just the path of the sun. That's all I was showing.
What is the physical mechanism that causes the sun to set in your flat Earth model?
You can be a PhD.
Everyone
and not
has
be a professional.
recessive genes.
Goodness.
In America, professor is an honorific that is given to anybody who lectures. Anybody who lectures is called a professor, and they don't even need to hold a PhD. In Australia and in England, a professor is actually not an honorific title; it is a formal title that you are awarded by your university when you reach the highest wage category or salary permitted to academics. Once you reach that, you are entitled to you are entitled to the title of professor.
All right, that's fine. Tony, we've been doing really good. We haven't really been doing all the personal attacks, so let's just try to stay on that. I know you got attacked a little bit.
Okay.
You defended your position. That's fine. We were on some good stuff though, so we've been going good for hours.
Can we go back to the observation,
Okay.
please?
Yes, certainly. do you accept that there is a that if I move 1 degree closer or further away from the North Pole, I have moved approximately 111.2 kilometers?
No, we don't accept that. Are you saying there's no evidence for flat Earth, PhD Tony?
Go ahead, post it. Post it.
Yes.
We'll wait.
Okay, then you're a disingenuous interlocutor and you're a fraud.
Post it, and we'll wait to see it. Go ahead.
Go to the beach.
Go to the beach. What is that going to
Look
tell
at
me?
the horizon. It looks
Oh, the
horizontal,
horizon
doesn't it?
looks flat. How much of the
so
horizon
there's
are you
evidence
seeing?
for flat Earth.
So how much of the horizon are you seeing
Okay.
at the beach? Like 3 miles? 4 miles?
We're gonna have to talk about refraction, and you don't test for refraction when you play with your ball in your garage, do you?
So how much curve do you think you would expect to see?
Zero curvature because there's no curve on the flat Earth.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
flat Earth.
Oh my God! On a sphere the size of
You
what?
live on
What's
a
the size of the sphere?
Oh my God.
24,901 miles.
Imagine if we didn't live
And you're
on a
looking at
sphere,
what?
would we be
3
looking at
miles? 3 miles and how much percentage of
curve is
curve
there on
you
a flat
expect to
Earth?
see?
How much curve is
How much curvature are you expecting to see?
Zero.
On at exactly.
In reality, we
There
don't
are
see
no
any
hills. There
curvature.
are no hills on flat Earth.
There's no curve on a flat Earth.
You're not.
There must, if there's a hill,
That's
there
like a
must be a
horizontal
curve.
horizon, right?
If there's a hill, there must be a curve, right?
There's no hill. There's no curve. It's just a horizontal plane.
So if hills
Scale.
exist in
It's
fact,
scale,
There was
Tony.
something we're not even seeing.
Tony,
We see
it's
a flat
scale.
Earth.
They don't understand scale.
That's a problem to you.
They don't understand scale. That's the
Oh,
problem.
and you do because you've measured it. No.
29
Watch some AI video.
24,901 miles, right?
You're a
And you're expecting to see a
believer.
curve in what, 3 or 4 miles?
I'm not
That's
expecting
right.
to see curve because there's no curve.
What's
It's
the
only
percentage of
a
curve?
ball that you want to push
What's
over
the percentage of
you got no
curve?
evidence for it because you want to talk over everybody and use math that doesn't prove anything in reality.
What's the percentage
You
of
have
curve?
mathematical claims that aren't justified based on long distance
What's-
observation, yada yada yada. You're just
what's-
brain dead. You've heard it all before and you still reject it.
What's the percentage of curve you should see?
There is no curvature that we see.
3 miles. Go ahead, I'm sorry,
So
Tony.
brain dead.
let's go back. So what about earthquake propagation? Are you aware about Rayleigh wave propagation that goes around the Earth multiple times from the epicenter of the earthquake around to the antipode of the Earth of the epicenter, and then back around to the original epicenter? While I'm talking, you may want to. So do you deny?
So that's
that
why
these
we're
things
talking down
occur?
to you.
Tony, I have
because you're not
a
even real
gift that
professor.
shows that perfectly. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a
Earth is
3D
like- Earth is
CGI
like
Blender model of
demonstrating
fake reality that I want to show you. Bro.
Okay. Do you?
Gio.
Well, no, Taylor said something, but you guys didn't hear her.
Because
you
we don't
go
know, Tony.
in the middle? No, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Sub.
But it's not evident. But curvature.
Tony, just the as we look over the water. Let's see. Oh man, that's a 15-story building. Those crosshairs are right above.
B-Ball, you're a dishonest fraud, and PhD student.
This, of course.
B-Ball, you're a dishonest fraud, and PhD student. Tony,
This,
of
course. You could go out and do these same exact. Hold on, because I know the
determine that.
Because I know the temperature of the water.
Because you just pull shit out of your ass.
Hold
right?
on. Because I know the temperature of the
You don't know the temperature from you to that building. No, you
hold
don't,
on.
liar.
Under the assumption that the Earth is planar, I can use the latitude gives me the distance to the North Pole, and the difference in longitude gives me the angle between those two rays. I can calculate the distance between those 2 points, assuming the Earth is planar, right?
Yeah, but are you also assuming like that the longitude lines expand out in the south? Because how about we just use a dual pole, for example, to where they don't expand out like that? That would change your, because really, like what you're talking about is just the difference between the chord or the arc length, and that is not that great a difference. Like with that, like 1,000-kilometer one, it would only be like less than 50 kilometers. It's far less than that. Like the difference between the arc and the straight. So the 1,700 is coming because you're expanding it out and assuming the longitude lines expand out, which is the AE map thing. And I think what Raki is asking is there just, can we just look at like leaving the longitude lines out of it, which you're using from your measurement to the North Pole with link to the sky. But if we just leave that out, and I'm assuming that's kind of what Raki is trying to get to, and just do the difference between if the Earth was planar versus curving, the arc length versus essentially the chord, except the chord is the planar part of the planar one, whereas the arc length, obviously the arc, you'd have to have it curved. That actual difference is pretty minimal, and that's what would need to be looked at. You know, the actual difference in the shape, either curving or being planar versus this whole linking in longitudes and so on.
So, no, so do you accept that geometry works? The geometry of triangles. Do you accept that the geometry of triangles works? The trigonometry gives accurate results.
If you're asking me, I mean, we can move forward if you wanted to share something about it. But
Okay. Well, I asked a yes or no. I asked a yes or no question.
well, I was just trying to clarify. I don't know if Rakia was more. Do you want to follow?
So,
I can respond, but I was
so
trying
if
to.
I make a triangle with any 3 points, the lengths of the sides and the angles are related in predictable systematic ways. It doesn't matter which third point I choose. I am at liberty to choose the South Pole or the North Pole or any other point on Earth's surface. I choose the North Pole for convenience. I could have just as easily chosen the South Pole, and the results would still not agree with reality. Right? The flat Earth formula would still be wrong. You can tell me which point to use if you want. It's a lot more work to do it for some other point, but it's doable. The appeal to a duopole is telling me that you don't believe planar geometry holds across Earth's surface. That's the only way a duopole or any other pole surface can work. You're claiming that there is some physical distortion of the distance metric.
No, the only reason I brought that up is because the longitude lines expand out on an AE type projection if you're using that. So the greater longitude lines in the south, whereas on a dual pole they don't. They converge just like they do in the north. That was the only difference. Or on a globe, technically they converge as well. That's the only difference. But I don't know. Maybe
but crucially, planar geometry does not work on a duopole map. So if you go up to a duopole map and you start measuring distances between points on the map, they're not going to match reality, right? They're not even going to be consistent. They are geometrically distorted from reality. You are saying that the distance metric has to change with position. That's what, and this is a fundamental thing that gets me about a lot of these discussions. What you are mathematically describing is that the way we measure distance produces consistent results for distances that are actually not the same.
All right, well, just I hear you. Pulling back a little bit to where we were at, could you just, in one of those distances, maybe the one in the north or the south, either one, what is the difference between it curving with the 8 inches per mile squared, roughly, et cetera, however you want to, if you want to use a different formula, if it's curving the way the globe Earth claims versus planar, what is the difference in the distance?
So I don't understand the question. Do you mean what's the difference between if you were to dig a tunnel, for instance, from one point to the other and go along that tunnel, do you want that distance, the sagitta?
I mean, however you want to proceed. I don't know if Rakia or if anyone else want to clarify, or I was just kind of, I think Rakia was more asking questions, but go ahead, Rakia.
I'm good because I was making sure I was saying it clear enough, and you still made my point perfectly. And he just couldn't or didn't understand me and blamed me for having comprehension skill problems. But yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Neither of you are.
You're good, man. I mean, it would have been okay if you didn't interrupt me there, but it's all right that you did.
Neither of you are making claims that are geometrically sensible, right? I don't understand what the point you're trying to make is. That the point is that if the Earth is planar, and so let's look at GPS coordinates, right? GPS produces coordinates in Cartesian coordinates, right? The International Terrestrial Reference Frame. Do we agree on that?
I mean, however you want to proceed. The thing is, originally this was brought up because I was asking you about if you have anything that you thought was exclusive for the globe, and here's how we got to this. So, I guess just however you want to present this as being exclusive to the globe, that we can hopefully verify or validate.
Okay. So do you accept that GPS gives Cartesian coordinates for every point on Earth's surface?
Well, I don't know if someone else. That's a whole other topic. The whole GPS topic. I mean,
that's something on the train thing. If you guys are interested.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Tony, have you heard of the Argentina Pacific Railway?
Yes.
Let me post something for you.
I mean, he was essentially using this as being exclusive, that the distances, and with these railways. So, but he was using a distance formula that's derived from a distance to the North Pole, and then using spherical triangles and all these other components. And I think Rakia was just asking, hey, what is the difference between the distance if it's planar or curving, like an arc length versus a chord length, essentially, in that way, and then how have we verified that it is exclusive? Let's say it is the globe distance of what it would be, for example, because I was trying to ask, like, are there any third party, assumptions that need to be taken for this, or is it something that's exclusive that, because that would be like the veracity of his original claim that it is exclusive is how verifiable it is, and how we can really sink our teeth into it in the physical.
So there are multiple levels here. Let's go through them one at a time. If I asked you to, how many people could, I've described the technique that I use to derive a flat Earth distance formula. How many people in this chat could do it? Do you understand trigonometry well enough? Would you have to go ask somebody else to do the trigonometry for you.
Did we skip the trigonometry class and like
Yep.
get to the bare bones?
It's
Yeah, you got anything in reality?
so far as this conversation can go. In some senses, like if you don't agree with my distance formula, that's fine. You're not at liberty. You're not compelled to. But it is, if the Earth were flat, this should produce a valid distance formula. It doesn't produce a valid distance formula. Therefore, Earth is not flat. Reductio ad absurdum. I assumed the Earth was flat. I got a result that doesn't agree with reality. Therefore, my assumption is wrong.
Okay, well, we could. SC sounded like he had a slightly different topic. We could shift on. The thing is that originally I had asked what you thought was exclusive for a globe. You mentioned the seismic waves and that the IRIS, the IRIS, was the authority there. That to some degree you had to trust their data, but you didn't have any reason to feel like you should doubt, that data nonetheless. So you had mentioned that one, and then we went to this one, and the thing is, like, what you laid out there is essentially, in terms of how the AE map is linked to this, because the longitude lines spread out in the south on that particular projection, and then you're basically saying that, well, that's the only flat Earth projection, and then you somehow just discounted the dual pole and said that, you don't think these other factors about the dual pole, but that really wasn't what was being discussed, like other distances and so on. I hear like that could be a side argument of taking some kind of projection like that. The only reason I mentioned dual pole is because if you were to do this in the north and south and just have the longitude lines reconverge to a southern pole instead of spreading out in the south like an AE map, then you would get at least something where we would have an equivalent in the north and south, which would not really allow this debunk to be the case. Sounds like this debunk only really works if you have these longitude lines spreading out, therefore asserting the AE map. At best, if what you're saying is correct, it would possibly falsify an AE map, maybe possibly, in terms of the longitude line spreading out. But that's why when Rakia came in, I thought we were trying to get to the difference in because you were bringing up these distances, the railways, and that was interesting in terms of that, all those components. And we were trying to get to the difference of whether the actual ground is curving or is planar. But instead, you were kind of using this distance formula that was extracted in a particular way and then applying it to, I know you're not necessarily applying it to a map per se, but you are applying it to a grid system that has the longitude lines in the south spreading out, and therefore potentially would be strawmanning a planar Earth, depending on what viewpoint, what system is being used, like, coordinate system. That's the only reason I mentioned the dual pole. So I think what we want to get to is something that's exclusive, that's not necessarily assuming, like something like the AE grid system, and baked into longitude lines, but something about the Earth itself and that distance either being planar or curving for something to be more, solid in that way.
Central element here
Roohif,
that
you're hot.
you are ignoring the basic geometry. If the Earth is planar, the technique that I described should give accurate distances. It does not give accurate distances, therefore the assumption that the Earth is planar, and it doesn't matter if it's duopole. I've made no assumptions about poles. I've made no assumptions whatsoever. If the Earth is planar, this geometry should work. It should give distances, and it doesn't give accurate distances. Now, you can say that it's possible that there's a duopole thing. You're again ignoring geometric reality. If the Earth were planar, this technique should work. I don't care if the Earth is duopole. I don't care if it's tripole. You can have as many poles as you want. You can do whatever you want with the coordinate system. If the Earth is planar, this technique should work. It's just the doctrine of triangles. It is just a simple application of trigonometry, right? There's no assumption about how many poles there are. I could do, as Roohif has pointed out, I could do this using any point on Earth's surface as the third point. It would still not work, right? And if the Earth is planar, it should work for any point on Earth's surface. Regardless of which point I choose, this should work, right? I am at liberty to choose whatever point I want, North Pole, South Pole, my house, whatever. I should be able to do this, and it should produce consistent, accurate results every single time, regardless what point I use. That's what geometry tells us, and it doesn't work. You're correct about the logical consequences of using the North Pole, but I can use any point. I should be able to use the North Pole and have it work. The fact that it doesn't work when I choose the North Pole is another argument against the Earth being flat. And you're just ignoring that and saying, well, perhaps there's some other projection. No, the projection is irrelevant. If there exists a single point on Earth's surface for which this technique does not work, the Earth cannot be flat.
Can we just check if people's alive?
I think he's frozen.
Yeah.
Gio, you there? You want to respond? Or I think Rakia left. I was going to ask him if he's finished, but obviously he's finished.
I'm going to write some code, Gio, to calculate distance on your dual pole.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, if we want to move on, I mean, he's saying a similar thing. I mean, it sounds like no one's really arguing about trigonometry or like basic geometric principles at all. It's just how you're coming about this. And if you're assuming that the longitude line spread out in the south, then that's an assumption. So the best you'd be doing is trying to debunk that, like I said before, to falsify.
My only assumption is that the Earth is flat and trigonometry is true. Those are my
but if you have two, right, but if you're going to use the pole and a measurement of stars and so on as a relation for this formula, if you assume instead of the AE type of planar layout, for example, a dual pole, which has the longitude lines converging in the north and south equally and symmetrically, then it would change this whole thing that you're putting forth.
No,
so
it doesn't.
That's why Rakia was trying to get to.
No, it doesn't, Gio. You're not listening to me.
Curved.
Gio, you are just stating something that is factually incorrect. Axiomatically, it doesn't matter what the behavior of the longitude lines is. It does not matter. If I know the distance from 2 points to a single point and I know the angle between them, I can calculate the distance between those 2 points. This is just a law of trigonometry. It's called the law of cosines. And in order for and it should not matter which point on the plane I choose. I am free to choose any point on the plane, and this technique will always work. If there exists a point on the plane for which this technique does not work, it doesn't matter about the longitudes. The Earth can't be planar. The hypothesis that the Earth is even approximately planar has been disproven by reductio ad absurdum. This is mathematical. This is not a question of I have made no assumptions whatever about lines of longitude, except that they join and they have an angle between them that is equal to the difference in longitude. That's what I've assumed here. And you can argue with those axioms. You can say, okay, we've got this weird sort of longitudinal thing that is distortion, that north is not straight, that traveling north is not a straight line. Okay, but you've still got you need to disprove that. I argue that if I'm going north and I'm a decent distance away, that moving 111.2 kilometers north or south will change my longitude by approximately 1 degree.
Yeah, but on a dual pole, the distances between the longitude lines are the same in the north and south. Whereas on an AE type projection with a single pole, the longitude lines are far greater in the south. That's the difference.
Okay.
Use the dual pole. Use the dual pole with the distances between the longitude lines are the same in the north and south. They're symmetrical, and it's going to change the whole result.
Yes, bring up a dual pole, and now pick a point on a longitude. Go 111.2 kilometers directly towards the North Pole. Are you still on the same longitude?
They're not symmetrical because there's longitudinal divergence at the edges. You can see in between each regions of the longitude, they get wider and wider in the edges. This shows non-linearity.
Yes, that's true too. But a dual pole, if you look at a dual pole and you pick any point on one of those longitude lines, and you go straight draw a straight line to the North Pole, you don't stay on your longitude line, right? And that is different from reality. In reality, if we go directly northwards, we stay on the same longitude, by definition. So the dual,
that's a whole different issue as well, though. That's not related to this. If we're just taking it on a single piece basis, we're not really trying to go into a dual pole or a single pole or any of that. The main difference is that on a globe, the longitude lines spread out from the North Pole, and then they get to the equator, and then they contract from the equator back to the south, down to the South Pole. So on just a very basic level, you're using an AE projection, which the greater distances between the longitude lines in the south are not the grid system that we're given. Obviously, with the globe, the longitude lines contract down to the south. So the AE map is the odd man out in terms of the idea that the longitude lines spread out. So unless somebody was in here asserting that and you were debating them on that, that would be a different conversation. We were trying to ask you about what you thought was exclusive for the Earth curving, and you mentioned these distances thing, but now you're using essentially a particular type of grid system where the longitude lines expand from the north and continue being larger distances in the south as part of your way that you're coming to this. So it just falls short.
Geometry to show that basic geometry is incompatible with a flat Earth. The basic geometry of distance on Earth, as measured, is incompatible with a flat Earth. The AE map is the only map to the North Pole correct.
No, you're not.
No, he's doing that on purpose. But
I'm certainly not doing that on purpose, you freak.
There you go. Auto join to trigger someone. First words out of your mouth every time.
And now this guy's
did you have something you wanted to bring up? He just keeps wanting to force the AE grid system, and it's very lengthy, and I'm good. So, SE, did you? I've said what I want to say for the most part. SE, did you have something, or if someone else wants to respond to this, they can. But we've gone through it 100 times. He's just going to go back to saying the only grid system that is possible on a flat Earth is the AE map. Therefore, we're going to use it because the dual pole, and he tries to bring up these other things. But his whole thing depends on the longitude line spreading out in the south.
No, it doesn't. I can do the same. I can do exactly the same analysis for the southern pole, for the South Pole, where the lines diverge in the northern hemisphere. So we can do it that way. We'll still get the wrong result. And again, if it's wrong,
that's not being claimed by anyone in here. Tony,
it doesn't matter. I should be able. It should work for whichever point on Earth I choose. The fact that it doesn't work.
You're beating down
for all points on Earth. This should work. There exists a point on Earth where this does not work. Therefore, flat Earth is disproven.
Okay, Tony, I'm going to tell you again. You're beating down a straw man if you continue to assume that you're taking some measurement from a pole and the longitude line's just spreading outward indefinitely. You're beating down a straw man. Go talk to someone else who's making that claim, because I am not.
Don't understand what I'm
interrupt
saying.
me. Don't interrupt me. Do not interrupt me. You've gotten very heated. You've been extremely long lasting. You're becoming very condescending and rude, and you're being extremely long-winded. I am telling you strongly, you are beating down a straw man. So go debate that with someone else. Don't do it with me, because I am not asserting any of that. And when I brought in a dual pole, you absolutely refused because you started coming up with all the other issues you thought you had with it. So if somebody else wants to step in, they can. Nobody is asserting on the side that I'm talking that the longitude lines just expand out forever. And that is what's needed for your entire formula that you've put forth. Please don't interrupt. I'm finished. Go ahead. This is getting very, very tedious. I've asked
the fact that you don't understand basic logic is not my problem.
That is an ad hominem attack.
If the Earth is flat,
I have muted you. You cannot ad hom. You may not ad hom. I will remove you from the conversation immediately. That is unfair. That is poor etiquette. Do not ad hom. I will unmute you if you want to respond without ad homs. Otherwise, we are moving on, and we're not going to let you destroy the conversation. Go ahead without an ad hominem.
Okay, if the Earth is flat, then for all given 2 points on Earth's surface, for all points, all other points, all points that are not my 2 points, I should be able to describe a triangle and use the distances from those 2 points to the third point and the angle between those two lines to calculate the distance along the third side for all points on Earth's surface. If there exists any point on Earth's surface where this does not produce accurate results, then I have disproven the assumption that the Earth is flat. I made the choice to use the northern hemisphere. You don't like that I've chosen that, but actually under logic, this should work for all points. It's got to work for the North Pole as well as any other point on Earth's surface. I chose the North Pole. It doesn't work for the North Pole. I have therefore disproven the original hypothesis. If the Earth is flat, then for all points, this trigonometry should work. This trigonometry does not work for a specific choice of point. Therefore, the Earth is not flat. It doesn't matter what the geometric consequences of that point are. It doesn't matter about the azimuthal equidistant plot. It matters about basic logic and basic geometry. For all x, x must be true. Tony, if there exists one x such that that is not true, then the statement that for all x it is true is no longer true.
Okay. Have you ever measured the GP of a northern star or a southern star? No, you haven't.
A northern star or a southern star?
What you said, we can base this off of a northern, if the poles, what GP and what star are you measuring?
I can use any star that is in a celestial atlas.
Which star is 90 degrees above you if you're at a pole?
That depends which pole you're at.
There is none. That was a trick question. There is no northern or southern directly 90-degree pole that you could ever use to use trigonometry to claim whatever you're saying.
So what?
So you're basing this off of a model which you presuppose is oblated and spheroidal.
No.
That's where you base all of your mathematics in, this made-up model.
No, that's just an empty fatuous
assertion. Okay, so what star is 90 degrees of the northern or southern pole?
There does not need to be a star at 90 degrees above either pole for this to work. Sorry, I was still answering your question, so I didn't hear what your fatuous comment was. And I'm still talking again, and you're so I didn't hear what your question was.
Still going on, bro.
Was that a question?
Did you hear my
question? Can you turn off your camera, please? Some people are trying to get in and they can't.
If you guys move him out and move him back into the AFK room, it'll turn off.
Yeah, I'll
Nice.
do it. I think he probably fell asleep or something. Oh wait. All right. Oh wait, I moved him. I'll move him back. Yeah, Tony, your whole thing that you laid out last, you were talking about triangles on the ground, but originally that's not only what you were referring to. You were referring to distances in the south and the longitude lines and taking a measurement from the North Pole or from Polaris and then using that calculation into, and it was requiring an AE map type of grid, which is why you had that 1,700 mile difference with a 1,000 mile track. You were saying would be 1,700 miles. That 1,700 miles comes from the AE map expanding in the south. So that's why Rakia was asking you if you brought it into the north, let's just do it in the north. You did one that it was like something like in the 500 miles, and then you were saying if it was planar, it'd be 600 miles. Now that's a lot closer, obviously, under a 100-mile difference. And same with that 1,000-kilometer one. I was saying it'd be less than 50 kilometers as well, the difference between planar and curved. So that's what we were trying to get to, and to try to get to like, okay, how can we validate that further? The only point about the southern expanding with the longitude lines and the AE map, which you had arguments for that. You were saying, well, that's the only planar map that's possible, this and that, which I don't agree. And I mentioned the dual pole just briefly, not to go into a whole thing, but only in the way that the longitude lines converge. So that whole point of it is not really even that big of a deal, because when Rakia moved you into the north, you mentioned those numbers, but we didn't really stay on that. And I don't know if Rakia is still here to actually get to the difference between planar and curved, without any additional longitude line component, like in the north, for example. And then we'd have to get down to actually some way to validate the difference between the surface shape and that distance, based upon the actual Earth itself, not necessarily based off the longitude-latitude system, which is a whole nother argument, because that's then based into the spherical coordinate of the sky and how that translates down to the ground.
Okay, so there are multiple points here. One, it should not matter which. So I've got 2 points on Earth. I pick another point so that it's a triangle. I pick another non-degenerate point, so some point different from the 2 points I've already got. Logically, geometrically, it cannot. If the Earth is in fact planar, it cannot matter which point I choose. If you're saying that you're getting the wrong results for the North Pole, you're just making my argument. I should be able to choose the North Pole and get the right results. I should be able to choose the South Pole and get the right results. I should be able to choose New Delhi and get the right results. I should be able to choose any point. If I choose a point and get demonstrably wrong answers, as I did, that shows that my initial hypothesis that the Earth is flat, that the Earth is approximately planar, is false. We can approach this another way. We can find 4 points on Earth's surface where the distance between them is the same. That's not possible on a plane. The maximum number of points on a plane that can be an equal distance from one another is 3. That's an equilateral triangle, where the distance between each pair of points is the same. Each side of the triangle is the same. For 4 points to be the same distance requires a third dimension. It requires that your new point is above the other 3. You've got your 3 in a triangle. It requires a tetrahedral shape. So again, we can find 4 points on Earth's surface that are approximately the same distance from one another, or that are exactly the same distance from one another. And we can that in and of itself is a demonstration that the Earth cannot be approximately planar.
How does a box grid work then?
All right, if you want to respond to Brian, but I mean, I would agree with most of what you said. The distances will be different on a planar surface versus curved for even 3 or 4 points. And if you do 4, it's even more pronounced. So I hear you on that. But then the next question, if you want to respond to what Brian said, or what I would say, just as a quick response to that, is you'd have to then measure those distances somehow tangibly, physically, without using assumptions from the sky, if you wanted to have a strong point, and show how you validated that. Because if you're using other assumptions, it's not going to be very strong in terms of you claiming that this is exclusive for a globe in terms of evidence.
What if we validated our spherical distance calculations with, for instance, the lengths of submarine cables?
Whoa, that's getting into a whole nother.
You're
certain
really
authorities that have
struggling,
to-
man. You're
Yeah.
really struggling. Oh dear. Whenever they start invoking angles, you know that they're lost because you can't have a bent angle on a curved surface. So just if ever they start invoking
Thanks, Mike Lee.
angles to anything, just dismiss them because you can't have an angle to a curved line. It's physically impossible.
That's absolutely false, and no mathematician or
How's
physicist.
Oakley's rectum these days, Mabbett?
Show me an angle to a curved line then, Tony.
Easy, the tangent to any differentiable curve.
Tangent. So not the surface then. Not the surface, a tangent. You cannot have an angle to a curved surface.
There is an angle between a
Impossible.
tangent and a curved surface.
You cannot have a angle to a curved surface.
Yes, you can.
It is physically impossible.
No, it isn't.
And apart from that, of course, the Earth isn't perfectly fucking spherical, is it? It's an oblate spheroid. So that curve constantly fucking changes. How
Yes,
can
what's your
you
point?
invoke an angle to a constant that changes? Then it's not a fucking constant. You brainwash,
We
mate.
never
You
said it
are
was a constant.
absolutely brainwashed. And if you have got a PhD, light the fire with it because it's total bollocks.
Yeah, the opinions of delusional nutbars really concern me, mate.
Well, that's the matter of fact. You cannot get an angle to a curved surface, especially one that keeps fucking altering.
You'll doubtless be able to cite a mathematical textbook that says that.
I don't
or a
have
physical
to. It's
textbook,
common
or an
fucking
astronomy
sense.
textbook, or a
It
geodesy
is
textbook,
common
or
sense.
any other
If
scientific
you've done
reference
any
work
work
that
with your
substantiates your
fucking
point.
hands, which you probably haven't other than push a fucking pen, you would know you cannot create an angle to a curved surface. And especially one that constantly changes, like the Earth's curvature is alleged to be oblate. You are a shill. Full stop.
Great.
was a
So we've got a series of baseless assertions from
Not
somebody
baseless
who
assertions.
they are baseless assertions. You've got
by
absolutely.
definition,
I let you prattle on for about 5 fucking minutes, mate.
All right,
and
hold on.
I didn't interrupt you once. And now I get one sentence into my statement, and all of a sudden it's okay to overtalk me. Well, I'm not going to stop talking. It was a baseless assertion. You were asked for references. You were asked for any validation of this aside from it being your opinion, and you produced nothing. You just repeated your claims without any references, without any allusions to external evidence of any sort. There is not a mathematician, not a physicist, not an astronomer, not a geodesist, not a surveyor on the face of the planet who would agree with you.
But he had a cool accent when he did it, though.
Yeah, I'm full of cold. That's why I'm up at stupid o'clock in the morning. I've been coughing all night. But it's lovely to come and listen to fucking arseholes and laugh at them. It really is.
Geo.
Yeah, let's not have the ad homs. I just asked Tony not to do that. By the way, Tony, I apologize. I got a little bit heated there, but it got like very tensious in that moment because yeah, I mean that 1,700 mile distance in the south was related to the AE type of grid, and then you kept saying no, it's not, but it really was originally. At least that was the original point. But what we're on to now, I thought if we had somehow been able to skip out that like 15 minutes of frustration, what you were on to is the actual distances. Now, Brian's brought up a second point in terms of an angle to a curve, which would link into the triangle concept. So it is related. So I don't know if you want to continue on that. But anyway, sorry I got a bit heated there. But it's just we have to try to stay in the moment, try not to monologue, try not to ad hom, because those things make it more difficult, you know. But
it It is
Well,
understandable,
I wanted
Geo,
to answer
for
SE
them. It's a
Montreal.
very
What SE
painful
Montreal just asked a question
realization
about what I
that they've
said.
been lied to all their lives. It is
And
painful for
I'm
them.
just going to continue talking because I was actually invited
You're
to
an
speak.
obnoxious
Thank you, Brian.
person. That's why.
And SE Montreal asked, did I say it's not possible to measure 4 points? No, what I said was it's not possible for 4 points, each pair of which is equidistant. So you've got points A, B, C, D, A, B, B, C, C, D, A, D, A, C, A, D, B, D, C, D. All of these distances are the same. So 4 points that are equidistant from one another. No, that's not a square because the diagonals are not the same length, same length as the sides in a square, are they?
Look, I'll give an example without using math language, okay? We've all seen inflatable balls. You've all had a ball, you inflate it, it becomes a ball. Okay, deflate the ball, okay? And then put it flat. You've basically got two flat layers. You get a ball, you take out the air, you squish it flat. You've got two flat layers on top of each other, okay? We're trying to make this into one flat layer. What part are you going to cut and splay apart in order to make it flat? That part that you cut and splay apart and put it to the edges is the distance discrepancy. Anywhere you want, any map, any setup. Take a ball, deflate it, flatten it out, you're fucked. That's the non-math way of saying it.
Yeah,
You could
it's
visualize. Go ahead.
And this was what I was talking about the topological impossibility of flat Earth. Yeah, the topology of it just doesn't work.
It's how we measure it, mate. It's
No,
how
it
we
isn't.
navigate it. It's how we sail across it. And it's going to be very painful for you to have this realization because you've been brainwashed for so long and you've been given a certificate to tell you you're brainwashed, which is really good. I'm sorry.
I've been studying the shape of the Earth and the nature of Earth's gravitational field for 30 years.
You haven't done it very well, have you?
I've done it a lot better than you.
Stop that, Tony.
Obviously not. You can't work out that a straight line can never meet itself.
I missed you, Mabbett.
Can it, Tony?
A straight line can never meet itself. What does that even mean?
Can a straight line ever meet itself?
Yes, all of the points of the straight line are on the straight line.
Can a straight line ever meet itself?
What are you even talking about?
It's saying like two ends of a line. Could they ever meet of a straight line?
Lines don't have ends.
This is how they convince themselves of complete nonsense, you see. They'll tell you quite openly a straight line is bent.
No,
and that's why it's called a straight line. I will tell you
that the geodesic. I will tell you that the geodesic across the surface of a three-dimensional
can't get an angle on a bent surface.
Yes, you can. You're just asserting that again. You're back to asserting nonsense.
You can get an angle to a
and then you're back to asserting other nonsense about lines meeting themselves. There are no straight lines. There are no straight lines. All you've got is approximately straight lines or lines that are on artificial surfaces that are straight.
Does a straight line go to infinity then, Tony?
Yes, by definition.
Thank you. So it can't meet itself, can it?
The term meet itself is undefined. What does that mean and where is the mathematical definition?
Get off your fucking high horse and accept the fact if it's going to infinity, it will never cross its own path, will it?
Cross its own path.
See,
what does
this
that
is
mean?
all you
what
do.
You mean?
You
choose.
Go back to basic language now. We went from PhD level communication down to what do you
What
mean?
I'm pointing out here is that your question is mathematically illiterate, and maybe if you don't have the mathematical skills to even ask the question, you should perhaps give up on your life goal of being an expert in this subject.
Does a straight line go to infinity or not?
Straight lines go to plus or minus infinity, but yeah, what of it?
Right. Never ever meet themselves, and they just keep going on forever. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except that
You
meeting
can't have a
itself,
straight line
meet
on a ball,
itself.
can you? You can't have a
No, you
straight
don't
line
have.
on
No,
a
you don't have straight lines on balls. Well done.
because it is some point it's going to meet itself. And what do we need to triangulate anything? 3 straight lines.
No.
I'm sorry, Tony. You have been indoctrinated at the highest degree to believe complete and utter nonsense when you actually know a straight line can never meet itself.
Spherical trigonometry has existed as a discipline for over 2,500 years.
No, it has not. It was brought in the
yes,
1940s. If you've
no,
done any
it wasn't.
research,
No, it wasn't. Menelaus'
put it in the
Spherica.
1940s.
Menelaus wrote Spherica several hundred years before the birth of Christ. So that claim is just false.
No,
yes,
they
he
did
did.
not.
Yes,
Because
they
depending
did.
on your dimensions of your sphere, all of the angles fucking change, don't they, Tony?
No, they don't. That's
They
the
don't.
great thing about. No,
So
they
if
don't.
we use a smaller sphere, the angle wouldn't tighten up, no?
No.
You're a fucking idiot, mate. Absolute idiot. I would say you've never ever created anything with your hands.
You're wrong.
But well, you have to be, because you would know that you cannot get a fucking angle off a curved surface.
That's just a yeah. Apparently it's okay for him to insult me. I hadn't
where
noticed
the
that.
steel is curved, you cannot get a fucking angle to that curve.
So for at least 1,800 years, Menelaus of Alexandria wrote a book called Spherica, which is about spherical trigonometry and the analysis of angles on spheres. And the angles on spheres are absolutely unconnected, unrelated to the size of the spheres. The fact that you claim otherwise is simple nonsense.
You're living delusionally, Tony. I'm sorry, you are. Whatever this fucking place is we're living on, it's generally horizontal. End of story.
Horizontal is only a local.
Wherever. We don't
only a local concept that does not
allowed
extend.
to go that far.
That does not extend.
You've got to come to that understanding, like we all have.
Yep. And what exactly do you do for a living, sir?
It took me 9 months to accept it, but that is the fact.
Yes, it took you 9 months to delude yourself. Well done.
Not delude myself, to understand that we've been fucking brainwashed. To believe a straight line is a curved line. To believe horizontal is curved. It's ridiculous.
We've been brainwashed to believe that there is such a thing as a flat
we're going around the sun at 67,000 miles an hour. And we're chasing the sun at 250,000 miles an hour.
That love waves can, that Rayleigh waves can orbit the Earth circuit the Earth multiple times, that satellites work and produce measurable results. You've been brainwashed to ignore all of that data.
They are
how do GPS satellites work? Why do they move at such incredible speeds? How are we able to extract real world data from points that don't receive any radio or telephone communications using GPS satellites? Yeah, you're the first person ever to mock me for the fact I say You're so clever.
Let's talk about them, Tone. How far are they away? 30,000 kilometers?
I think it's
away
more like
from the surface of Earth. Wouldn't they have to be moving faster than the surface of the Earth just to stay in a locked position? Because of their greater radius.
They don't stay in locked positions.
What propels them to do that, Tony? They've got no force on board to do that.
Yes,
How does wind stay locked to the Earth's surface? When the higher you go, that wind has to travel further to stay in that locked position. How does that wind go faster than what the object that is supposed to impart in that movement is actually moving for it to go around a greater radius?
Okay, so to what altitude is there significant air?
Absolutely destroy the fucking globe model.
To what altitude is there significant air?
Doesn't
Is air
matter.
density above
Doesn't
a
matter
certain
whether it's
layer?
a mile up. Doesn't matter whether it's 6 miles up. Doesn't matter if it's 60 miles up. It has got to go faster than what is alleged to be imparting the speed.
Yeah, but are there systematic east west air currents?
Are there what? Sorry, I was coughing.
Are there systematic east-west air currents? Are there jet streams?
What's that got to do with it? We're told.
So you're saying that the air would be left behind, and when I point out that there is a large body of air that is in fact behaving in accord with the principles you just described, you're going, what has that got to do with it? So the atmosphere does exhibit the effects of rotation.
We are told the atmosphere is in lockstep with the Earth, and that's
no,
why
you're not told that.
Feel the 1,000
No,
mile
you're not. No, you're not told that.
We're not told that.
No.
So on a
because there are
calm day with not a breath of wind, is the Earth still moving or not?
It is still moving. Yes.
So what is causing a situation of no movement of the wind? Is the atmosphere moving with the Earth?
Yes, it is.
Now, as you go higher, is that layer of atmosphere having to travel faster than the atmosphere below it?
Yes.
What imparts that movement on that upper atmosphere faster
but the thing is,
than what we're told?
Hang on.
We know every
You asked the question, now I get to answer it, right? You stop talking now, and I get to answer your question. In fact, as you go higher, the air doesn't always stay caught up. Now, there are movements inside the atmosphere in response to pressure variations due to temperature fluctuations and humidity fluctuations. There are pressure differentials, and they cause winds. We accept that that's true. For the most part, the atmosphere rotates with the Earth under what's called preservation of angular momentum.
And there's losses in
the accumulation of material that formed Earth had this rotational velocity and has kept rotational velocity, right? Everything's going around in the corner. Now, as you go higher, the stuff would have to go faster if there were to be no shear winds across running from east to west. But as you go higher, in fact, there are shear winds and there are systematic winds that go from east to west. The air does flow. The air does have difficulty keeping up with the air that is lower to the Earth. The higher you go, the stronger the winds get. So what you are claiming should be observed is observed.
You see how they struggle? Because they have to fantasize how this fucking system that's been ingrained into their souls works. They have to make up fantasy. This is why they absolutely state a straight line is bent. They'll tell you that out and out. They'll tell you the horizon, which is demonstrably horizontal, is curved. They have to do that because they've been indoctrinated with the nonsense of the globe. And so was I, and so were you. You know, you've got to feel sorry for these people. Some are so invested in this, they cannot let go of it. And Tony's one of them, because he preaches this shit. I don't know how he sleeps at night. I don't know how you sleep, Tone. I really don't. Telling people
because I am acting in the best interests of delusional people who unfortunately reject my assistance, but I am acting in your best interests.
No, you're not.
To
You're
try,
acting against
to
our
try
interest.
and breach the delusion and to bring you information that you did not have and sources of evidence that you do not have access to without me.
You have no idea because you are deluded yourself.
All right, well, let's not.
Well,
all the personal attacks just kind of derail the actual convo. So, because then he's going to want to throw one back at you and back and forth. So we don't really focus on that here.
I
as much,
agree
so.
with you, mate, but you cannot.
Insulted me for the past 20 minutes. Why is it that when it's as soon as I say something, you're jumping on me?
No, I was actually saying that to just. I think Brian was just saying how just to go back and forth. You're delusional. You're delusional. You guys are kind of both doing that. Essentially, it's a type of personal attack. 'Cause you're just trying to question the person's ability to comprehend reality. If you have different views, I mean, I just think the people listening, we could actually hear the content rather than just opinions
Well,
about.
the content seems to be this guy just bloviating. But Roohif wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, Mabbett, you said the horizon is horizontal. Do you mean like the angle down to the horizon is zero?
Here we go.
What do you mean by horizontal?
Now he's going to tell you the horizontal is curved, isn't it, Roohif?
I'm asking what you mean. When you say the horizon is horizontal, do you mean the angle? You mean it's at eye level?
Horizontal does not mean fucking eye level, does it?
Oh, fuck, I'm asking what you mean, Mabbett.
Horizontal. It's a state.
Okay.
And everything
you
is
saying
turned up to horizontal.
Are you saying the horizon is at your horizontal?
No, what do you mean my horizontal?
At eye level.
Perpendicular, or I'm sat on the chair.
Right.
Horizontal is a state. We build houses horizontal. We don't build them on the pits, do we? Well, most of us don't.
The question is, when you say, when you make the claim that it's horizontal, what do you mean the horizon is a straight line? Or do you mean that that there's
is
no
a condition?
Fuck, I give up.
You must know that. You must know and understand that. It's a condition.
Yeah, yeah. There are conditions that are on clear display at the moment.
Thank you, Tony. He's finally agreed.
How would I test for this condition, Brian? And it's good to see you, by the way. How are you doing?
I'm not very well at the minute, mate. I just had a terrible sleep. I picked up a bit of a cough and cold yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't sound all that great, actually.
No, I was up coughing and I was waking the missus up, so I come down. I thought I'd come and listen to some
wonderful globe proof.
Yeah. I mean, I've stopped fucking talking to them anymore because as soon as they invoke an angle, they've fucked themselves up and they don't realise it. You can only get an angle from a horizontal planar condition. And of course,
can you get an angle from a hill, mate?
Then they say, you know, the Earth's curvature.
Can you build a house? Can you build a house on the side of a hill? Can you build a house on the side of a hill?
Horizontal condition.
Yes, and there is an angle on the horizontal to the curve, right?
You would either prop one side up or you dig into the hill.
But there's still an angle, right?
To get a horizontal platform.
But there's still an angle. You said you couldn't have an angle to a curve. But now we're turning in. You actually can get an angle to a curve as long as it's a hill, right?
It's not an angle to a curve.
How is it not an angle?
It's a horizontal platform you're creating within the hump.
Which is at an angle to the hill.
How can it be? Because it'll be different at the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill.
Yes, but that doesn't stop it from being. The fact that the angle changes and is point dependent does not mean that there isn't one.
Your angle will continuously change. And this is what you've got with your ridiculous fucking statement about the Earth. The Earth, we're told, is an oblate spheroid where the curvature constantly fucking changes.
Yes.
So how can you use that curvature as a datum point if it's constantly changing?
You need to be
And we're told that
extraordinarily
by
precise is what
you
you need to be. And you
PhDs,
need to
whatever
accept that nothing is actually constant. The center of the Earth is not constant. It's not, the Earth's center of mass is moving through time. That's changing the coordinate system. Earth's mass is is undergoing redistribution constantly as a result of mantle convection and as a result of glacial isostatic adjustment. Where large loads form the Earth, and the Earth is still relaxing. The Earth is still relaxing. You live in the United Kingdom. You should know that there is glacial rebound in Scotland. Scotland is undergoing uplift as a result of the large ice sheet that was present over it. The same is observed in Canada. The same is observed in South America, Antarctica, Canada, North America. The fact that the shape of the Earth is constantly evolving. The distribution of mass is constantly evolving. Yes, you're right. We need to check, and things change over time. Earth's tilt changes over time. The perceived angle of elevation changes over time. Length of day changes over time. All of these things change. Nothing is stationary or static in this system, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of very precise observations from different data sets in order to work out what the accurate answers are. But just saying it's complicated, therefore it can't be real, is a childish view of reality.
Oh dear. Yeah, so just remember this, everybody. If they invoke angles to anything, they've just shot themselves in the foot, because you need a horizontal plane to gain an angle.
Welcome back, mate.
You just proved that isn't true.
Until Tony can show us an angle to a curved surface, then it's true. Go on, Tone, show us. Show us an angle to an oblate spheroid. This will be really interesting. Because the angle will change, won't it, Tone, as you go either a tighter curve
the fact that it changes is not an objection.
Less tighter curve, your angle fucking changes, Tony.
Hey, Brian's not feeling well. Maybe he should take a break.
I think.
Okay, I just shared in the chat a YouTube video about angles between curves on surfaces.
Sin cleanser. If I drive, I don't know, 50k south, will I be at the GP of this star overnight?
What's the name of the star?
Caus Australis.
Okay, what was
I've never heard of it. I'll work out a time.
See, if you don't know how to measure or navigate with the stars, you're going to appeal to some website, and then you're going to try to explain it to me without knowing any of the basic information about how the stars work.
I know how the stars work. I'm asking, will this star go over my head if I go to that latitude? The answer is yes. I'll be at the GP of the
How have
star.
you measured it? Because there are probably many stars that go over that same location.
Right, but this one's a navigation star.
Okay, how do you know which stars are used for navigation if you don't know the stars? Do you appeal to an almanac or an authority?
It's an almanac, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You've never used celestial navigation for any practical purpose other than debating it.
No, I've used celestial navigation to get my position.
Okay, what star did you use?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
It's a basic question that anyone would know if they actually celestially navigated anywhere.
Yeah,
you would know the stars because they would tell you the constellations, and then you would know which way is which.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was or what.
You can't remember it because you don't know the stars and you've never done it. It's not that crazy.
Champ.
It's just you haven't done
it.
There
you go. There we go. Welcome back.
I'm just saying, Globers don't ever actually tell you anything about the stars because they never look at them. They don't know where's what. They can't tell you where Orion is. They don't know Virgo. They don't know anything about the stars, but they'll just claim it works on the globe without telling you anything about it.
So you're claiming that no astronomers are globers.
Which star did you use and what was the time? Then I can figure out your
can't
location.
remember. You could.
I can know
Bacon
your location. Here's the thing.
Bacon figured out
if
my
you
location.
tell me, well, where's Bacon? We get him.
Bacon's not here. He wouldn't remember either.
Okay.
But I gave him my star
Roohif.
measurements, and he told me where I was.
I don't need
within
the
like
star
200
measurement. I just need the name of the star and the time, and I can know where your location is.
It's easier
You
than
need
that.
3, by the way.
Did you use angles,
Go
Roohif?
back. It did, Mabbett. In fact, I posted in
You
the
have to
chat.
use 90-degree angles.
There you go,
Let
mate.
me just check. Can I ask you a question, Mabbett? Because I don't understand. Whoops, that's Brian.
What?
Hey, thanks for
Mabbett.
playing, Roohif.
No worries, Cleanser. All right. In the chat, Mabbett, is an image of a
chat
dude
you in?
standing on
I
a
don't know if-
curve. Live stream 1.
Oh, I mean, hold on.
All right. So I'm wondering, when you say you can't get an angle to a curved surface, I'm wondering
Stream 1.
why. What is
Oh,
stopping
no wonder
you from...
nobody's talking to me. I was in the wrong chat. Say again, sorry. Go on, I'm in the right
So
chat now.
the image that is posted has a dude standing on a curved surface.
Yeah.
And there's these horizontal, right? And then there's an angle down to the
You admit
horizon.
horizontal is a straight line, yeah? Well done.
Cool.
And there's
Yeah,
an
it's a
angle.
Yeah.
So what if that guy was not looking horizontal? What if he was looking at a plane? Could he measure the angle between the plane and the horizon?
Hold on. What was you saying, Roohif? You were interrupted. Start again.
So that dude, right? He's established a horizontal. That's the line going straight out.
Yeah.
And then he's measuring the difference between that horizontal and wherever he sees the horizon.
Right.
Why is that not possible?
That's perfectly possible.
So you got an angle on a curved surface.
No, you haven't got. You're not using a curved surface. You're using a point, i.e., the horizon.
Yeah, but
I've measured the angle.
The point in this case is on a curved
using
surface, right?
A curved surface. You've just drawn 2 straight lines. How can you even consider that to be a curved surface?
He's standing on
I'm
a
measuring
curved
that
surface.
angle. I'm standing on one. I've pointed my
You're standing
theodolite or
on
whatever.
one, but you're not using that as your baseline, are you? You've drawn
My
an imaginary
reference.
line to a point, which is a tangent to a curved
Right.
surface, is it not? I'm sorry.
Right. And I'm measuring the angle between that horizontal and the tangent. Why is that not possible?
Not the surface, then. I agree
That
with
is the
you.
surface. It's
No, it
tangent to the
isn't.
surface.
A tangent.
Yes, it is. It's tangent to the surface.
It's a tangent that you're measuring the angle to, not the surface.
I'm measuring the angle between my horizontal
Yes.
and the tangent. The tangent
And
hits the surface.
Yeah. The tangent isn't the surface. Look at the
It
2
hits the
shapes.
surface.
No, it isn't. It's
It
a
touches
point.
the surface.
It's a
Right?
point.
But it touches the surface. So I'm measuring the surface.
It doesn't matter if it goes through it. It's still not the surface. It
is touching the surface.
On that surface. And you are using that as a reference point to
No, the
make
reference is horizontal.
another straight line.
The reference is horizontal. I'm measuring the difference between horizontal and that angle that I'm tangenting.
All right, measure the. You see your tangent there. You see where it touches the curved surface. Measure that angle from beyond to the right of where it touches the surface. Measure that angle.
What do you mean?
Where it
Move the
touches
observer somewhere else?
surface. No. Leave it exactly where it is. What is the angle from that tangent down to the Earth's surface to the right of where it touches the surface?
I'm
Give me that
lost.
angle.
Like, hang on. Let me post another picture. One sec. 1 second.
You're not the one that's lost here, Roohif.
Yeah.
I don't know how they
I know.
can't see it. It's because they have got this ridiculous notion that we're living on a spinning fucking ball, and they have to.
I'm measuring that angle A. That angle A, that's what I'm measuring.
No, okay. Measure the angle from below the tangent after it's touched the surface of the ball. Measure that angle there between the surface of the ball and the tangent. Measure that for me.
I have no idea what you're fucking talking about.
All right, hold on. Let me copy it and I'll show you. Let me just whip it into an arts package. Hold on.
All right, hang on. In there? Like, hang on, I'll screen share. That's what I'll do.
Control new. Control V. Right, I'll just put it in as B, yeah? Text. Too small, man. Let's make the font bigger. Do. Control deselect. Control all. Control C. Hope you know all your control shortcuts. Control V. Right. Tell me the angle of B.
Between what and what?
Between your tangent line and the surface of that sphere. Give me that
I'm
angle.
Standing at the horizon.
Exactly. At which
Where am I
point
standing?
you cannot give me an angle to a curved surface.
What are you talking about?
Only to
Where
a
am I
point.
standing? Am I standing at B or am I standing at the tangent point?
You're not that stupid, Roohif. People are judging you on your answers. Give me the angle of B.
Between what and what?
Between the curved surface and the extension of the tangent line.
So B
Give
is
me that
you're talking about
angle.
right. It's not a straight line.
So
You're
in
talking about
order
the
to
surface being
have
part of the straight line.
in order to have an angle, in order to define an angle, you need to have two rays, right?
Yes.
That have a common intersection, and so you need to construct two rays. We've developed one ray that is the tangent that is going from. Where is the other ray?
So you can't do it to a curved surface.
You can do it.
That's all you've got to do.
You need to do
is just admit you cannot have an angle to a curved surface. Because in any CAD program, you've got a circle and try and make an angle to it. It will outright tell you you cannot create an angle to a curved surface.
Angles disappear. What is the other ray from B? So what are the two rays for angle for B?
Whenever you invoke an angle from the Earth's surface, we know you've lost the debate.
What's a better word? What's a better word to use?
Ray is the correct word.
Ray's the correct word, yeah.
Yeah.
But there isn't a ray on a curved surface. And of course, with the Earth, allegedly, it's an oblate spheroid. And the curve constantly changes.
But
to virtually
we all
flat
agree an angle
and very
is between
steep
two
at the
rays.
equator.
Can you look down on a ball?
We all agree that an angle is between two rays, right, originating from a point. Where is the point on your diagram?
You've just answered your own dilemma.
No, I haven't. I'm asking you a question.
You have. Well, not so much you wasn't invoking angles on a curved surface, but Tony was. And you can't have them. It's physically impossible. You have
Where
to
is the
have
point
a
the two
point.
rays emanate from?
And it is not achievable on a curved surface. And if you've ever done any metalwork and tried to create a curved surface and get an angle to it, you will understand that you cannot do it.
Does light bounce off of a ball at an angle?
I've done metal work, and I know how to read blueprints, and I built military trucks for a
I
living. I
wouldn't
was
say
a
that.
welder. I was a welder, and I absolutely on our blueprints, it was defined the way you find measurements to a curve.
Find measurements to a curve. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can measure the circumference,
So you can get a measurement to a curve.
but
I mean,
only.
that's an angle to a curve. I mean, not a measurement, an angle to a curve.
Oh, you said
It
measurement.
was defined. It was defined how to do it, or
Well-
not defined how to do it. I knew how to do it, but it was
Well, tell
defined
us
what it
then.
needed.
Tell
They
us
are
how you.
telling you. They're sitting here explaining it to you. You're not listening.
All right, you tell me. If you.
But you said you can't. That's the
No,
issue.
I'm saying you cannot to a curved surface. Now, if you're talking about a point on a curved surface and make a tangent from that point, I agree with you.
Okay,
But
then
we're
that's
not.
how it's done.
We're
Yes, we are.
talking
That's
about.
how it's done.
Well, that is not the surface, then, is it? That is a point on
Right,
the
the
surface.
surface is not a ray. The surface is not a ray of the
Exactly.
angle.
No, so you
Right.
cannot create an angle to a curved line. And
I've just
especially
showed
one
it.
where the curvature changes, like they tell us the Earth curvature changes. Because it's
Let's
I've got my
assume.
little dude.
Now,
My
however,
little dude standing there.
if we just happen to live on a horizontal plane that is horizontal, then you could use all these measuring devices and angle measurements to navigate with. That's amazing, isn't it? And you won't have a problem.
Okay. But let's assume that again, the fact that reality is more complicated than your childish understanding is not an argument that your childish understanding is correct. If you are at a distance d, if you are at a distance d, if you are at a distance d, your entire argument is it would be complicated if the Earth wasn't flat. Therefore, the Earth must be flat. That is not an argument. That's not a valid syllogism. If you are at a distance d from the point where the tangent line is touches the Earth, then the angle between the line connecting your point and the tangent touching point, the angle between that and the tangent is d divided by 2 is approximately d divided by 2 times the radius for a circle of radius r.
But the radius changes on the Earth, apparently.
Yes.
But
over short distances, it is approximately constant. Hence my use of the term approximately.
The ground position of stars thousands of miles away are on a flat plane and not on a curve.
Of course they are.
If that were the case, if the stars were in a flat surface above a flat surface, then you looking at their star trails, you would see them not as circles, you would see them as ovals. Only a
Their
person
GP positions are all 90-degree angles to you?
Only a person at the North Pole would see them tracing circles in the sky. So the fact that stars famously form circles in rotation from whichever position you're looking at them from is actually direct proof that the flat Earth is geometrically impossible.
All of the maps are used because of the elevation angles that they're making to Polaris specifically. And you're getting 90-degree angles of thousands of miles. So there's no tangent line. When you're doing celestial navigation, you're actually getting ground positions, not tangent line in space. positions.
No, that's
So your
absolutely
navigation wouldn't
false.
work.
In order to
because you have to
make
change
your
it so that
in
it'll
order
fit
to make
onto
your
a
dip
curve.
correction,
Because all of your
in order to make
calculations
your
are done
dip,
using a
in order to
horizontal
make your
plane.
dip corrections, in order to make your
Dip
dip
correction to bring
correction,
it to level, yes.
yes,
If you're
that
not
but
your eyeball's not in the
that is
water
that is
looking
a
at the
tangent
star.
correction. That is a tangent correction because your line of sight to your to the horizon
No,
is a
that just brings
tangent
you
plane.
down to surface level. That just brings you down to the horizontal that
No,
the
it
whole
doesn't.
plane is on. Yeah, that's the definition of an elevation angle. Anyways, the horizontal plane you're standing
Hey,
on. You have to take a dip
ancient traveler.
correction because you're standing on the plane. You're not in the plane.
All right. Do you
Yes,
think
but we can
celestial
calculate
navigation draws a
what
big
that angle
triangle?
should be. So let's assume that you're say 100 meters off the surface. We can calculate what the dip angle should be for a flat plane as opposed to a spheroid. And guess what? Dip angles from manuals correspond to the spheroid, not the flat
Ground
plane.
positions correspond to the ground, not some tangent plane.
Hang on. Do you think, ancient traveler, do you think celestial navigation uses like big 90-degree triangles to the GP?
I think it uses elevation angles to the GP, which is 90 degrees to you.
Okay. If do you think the observer, the star, and the GP make a 90-degree triangle, right angle triangle?
Yes.
I was asking ancient traveler.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's literally the same thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think it makes a triangle, no, but you're still measuring a 90-degree angle in an elevation
From where
angle,
to
so
where?
it's still
90 degrees
perpendicular.
between what and what? 90 degrees between
The
what
zenith
and what?
or the zenith at the GP point to you after the dip correction.
So you are saying it's a right angle triangle between you, the star, and the GP?
Sure.
Right. That's wrong. That's incorrect.
No, it's not.
I'm saying there's a 90-degree angle there. I'm not saying
Yeah,
you can
you're wrong.
calculate for. I'm not saying you can calculate for the opposite. I'm just saying there's a 90-degree angle that we're using.
You're
Correct.
wrong. Yeah.
So it's not like the typical geometry. It's just celestial navigation.
Right. Have you done it?
Yes.
I've taken angles measurements before.
Right. Have you got your
If there's
position by
if
doing
there's a
that?
right angle triangle, you can solve it.
Correct.
I don't
Yeah,
think
any
I need
GP
to
will give
actually
you a
do it.
90
I think it's
degree.
been done for hundreds of years. What do you mean?
Right. How?
Pilots are learning
How has
it,
it been
and
done?
why
Do
do I
you
need to go do
understand the
it?
geometry?
I need to know. I need to have a pilot's license to know that a plane can fly.
No, you just need to understand the geometry of celestial navigation and why it necessitates a sphere.
A 90-degree
Doesn't.
angle that you can't get on a sphere.
Okay, so why
Not
is the
a right angle triangle.
It's a 90-degree
It
angle. I
is
don't
a
know why you keep
90
saying
degree triangle.
triangle, man.
So can
Right.
I ask you guys, what do you think the equatorial plane is?
It's the Milky Way.
It's an imaginary.
No,
Oh, you didn't
no.
know that, did you? Didn't
It's
tell
an
you
I
that?
imaginary
don't think
place.
that, I think that's not correct.
The Milky
It's
Way
the
separates the
extent-
north from the south, so you may think again, but you can try to guess your way out of that one.
That's not that is neither the definition of nor meaningfully related to the concept
Well,
of
you
the
just told me you don't know anything about the stars.
But do you accept that the equatorial plane is a plane?
Yes, and the Milky Way is the
Okay.
equator. Yeah.
All right, but if the Earth is flat,
Can you
then
just
the
address my point,
separation.
though?
If the Earth is flat, then the separation between
Can
the
you just
north and the
address what I
south
said?
has to be a cylinder,
You just don't
right?
want to talk?
It has to be a cylinder. It can't be a plane.
No. How about you have a dialogue with me and address what I said? The Milky Way is
You a
what the
question,
equatorial plane is
and
based
you are
off of.
trying to
And you just want
interrupt
to
the
talk over me
question.
because you're a snob.
No, I was asking you a
You're
question.
such a snob.
I was asking you a question.
Why can't
I
you
have
talk
now
with
finished
people?
asking you the question. You can now answer the question. Why is it
Oh,
not
thanks.
a
I didn't need your
cylinder on a
permission,
flat
Tony.
Earth?
I'm not a student of yours. Thank God.
Well, you should be. You'd be much
I
better off
would
if you
rather
were.
fall into a toilet than ever
Okay,
sit through one of
then you
these
should
things.
go do that right now.
Get a grip.
All right, ancient traveler, I've posted in the chat at 27 past. Is that what you think is happening? So the 90 degrees is over at the GP.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
So if you knew the distance between
Yeah, I
your
don't see what
observer
you're
and the ground position, you could calculate the altitude of the star, right, using basic trigonometry.
Exactly. If there's a triangle
Ancient.
there, you can solve it.
There's a triangle there.
Ancient, how long have you been in this debate?
Since 2021.
Okay, you've got a few years to go, but
Yeah,
what
I would
what
try
I've
to
come
avoid
to conclusion
arguments that you
is
don't understand.
what I've come to the conclusion is, mate, a bee will never try to convince a fly not to eat shit.
Nice.
And that's what
Yeah,
I've been
ancient
doing for
traveller.
the last 9 years. It's fucking impossible, mate.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they're
So,
telling you
Brian,
level is curved,
You
and so
you
what are you going to do with
Brian,
cannot
while
that?
you're thinking of that, Brian, let
you
me ask you a
cannot
question.
convince
While you're
these
thinking of
people.
that, Brian, can you tell
I
me
mean,
if you've got the longitude and latitude coordinates, two of them, how do you work out the distance between them?
Oh my God, you're appealing to the globe again.
Are we talking straight lines here?
You got
No,
you,
You don't even know
you,
what straight lines
you're a
are.
navigator. You're a navigator.
I
You
gotta
called
go,
out a
guys. I'll
speed.
see you later.
You know the
Take care, mate.
longitude and
Professors
latitude of
and
your
doctors and
destination.
PhDs.
Now you need to know. Now you need to calculate the distance. How far have you got to go to your destination? If you know your longitude and latitude, and you know the longitude and latitude of your destination, how are you going to calculate the distance between those two
How far
places?
have you got to go? Till the end of the rainbow.
Are we talking two dimensionals
You do
here?
that. You
By
work
any
that out on
chance,
flat Earth.
Philip?
That would be
Hey,
really
Professor Phil,
impressive.
Phil,
do you
are
know how
you
to measure
using
a GP?
Philip? Are you
Go ahead.
using two dimensions here?
No.
You heard my question. Longitude
Yeah,
and latitude of one place, longitude and latitude the other place. Work out the distance between them. That's what the GPS does. You do that. You tell me how you're
longitude and
going to do it.
latitude, are they 2D?
Do you know what that longitude and latitude
So
is?
is the surface of a sphere.
Is it two-dimensional?
It's
Yes,
on the surface of the sphere.
is
Yes.
two-dimensional.
You can't have a sphere 2D, can you?
The surface of a sphere is
The
It's
surface
two-dimensional.
got
is.
depth. It's got depth as well, hasn't it, Philip?
When we talk about area, we talk about square meters, don't we? That means
We do.
two-dimensional.
Which is
Yeah, that's two. If it was
two-dimensional.
three-dimensional, it would be cubic, wouldn't it? Cubic meters.
It would,
It's square
yes.
meters.
So
Right.
we're
Okay. So
using
just answer
two-dimensional
the basic
coordinates.
question. You
We're
don't have
using
to ask me a question.
two-dimensional coordinates
You
on a
say that you
horizontal
say celestial
plane, Philip.
Look, you say celestial
Get
navigation
over
works on
it.
flat Earth, right?
Go and
Good.
hand your
Now,
notice in. Don't spread this bullshit for them anymore.
now
No one
listen.
understand
You
that
got
you have
longitude
been
and
lied to,
latitude
the same
coordinates
as Tony has been
of your
lied to.
fixed.
We've all been lied to, Phil and Tony.
Yeah, listen to you.
We've all been
Listen to
lied
you
to.
obfuscate.
You
Wow.
are being paid to promote their bullshit.
Yeah,
Of
Brian,
course.
you imagine
and
Yeah, how can
yourself
you be a
being
professor and not know
intellectual
anything
equivalent
about
of
it?
a bee or a
Paid
fly.
for
who can
GPS.
think for himself instead of the nonsense they've forced into your brains. And
They
you'll
haven't
feel a
forced
better
anything
person.
into our brains. They've given us the ability to
Tony, hold on. Let's let
analyze
Professor
arguments.
Phil get in. We haven't heard him for a while. Let's let Professor Phil get in.
Okay, so SE, Brian was interrupting Phil, and apparently it's open season for him to fucking do it. It's only a problem when I do it. Is that right?
No,
Yes.
Tony, we haven't heard Professor Phil in a long time, and I just want him to get in. That's all. How's it going, Professor?
He's not a fucking professor. He's just Philip.
Okay, whatever. Let's give him a chance, guys. What the heck?
Take the notice of the prof at the beginning of that. That's a load of bullshit. He's not a professor. It's a
All
bit
right,
like
Phil.
Professor Dave.
Let's let Phil
Very
get
much
in.
a professor, and it's a well-earned title and a hard-earned title.
Oh yeah, to absorb all that bullshit is hard work. I agree with you.
Phil, would you say that the accuracy of the spherical distance formula is a strong argument in favour of the Earth being approximately spheroidal?
He wouldn't, because he's going to be honest with himself.
Absolutely. There is practically no way for those flat Earth people to answer my question without using spherical geometry.
What?
You're going to need the radius of the Earth to do that, to answer that question.
Why do you? Just
Well,
use a map.
you go ahead.
What
You try and do it
shape's a
without.
map, Phil? What shape
You
is
try
a
and do
map,
it without
Philip?
it.
What
You
shape
try
is
and do
a
it
map?
without it.
What shape is a map, Philip?
Maps are
Well,
distorted.
it's just a distortion of a projection of a globe.
Is it? So all our shipping uses distorted maps to find their way across the Earth, yeah?
Yeah, they have things called scales.
Yeah. This is. Have you ever seen a ship's captain walk onto a boat with a globe under his arm?
He wouldn't need it.
Never. Have you, Philip?
No, but he wouldn't need it. Why would he? Why would he need one?
Wake up to the deception they've forced upon us all.
Come on, Brian, answer my question. It should be.
That's the funniest shit ever you ever seen.
It should keep you up at night, Brian.
Get on a boat with the globe.
Answer my question, Brian. It should keep you up at night.
Or a pilot. Have you ever seen a pilot walk on with a globe under his arm?
But why would a pilot need that?
No, because what
pilot
they're
knows how
flying
to read a
over,
map.
what they're sailing over is a horizontal plane.
The pilot
So
knows how to
No,
use a
have
flat
you ever
map.
read a sailing manual?
And
Because
these
sailing
fucking
manuals have been
people-
teaching spherical trigonometry for over 300 years.
These people have been convinced that the very maps that they supply them with are distorted. And that's how they can pinpoint a ship across thousands of miles of ocean and end up exactly where they need to get.
Or
I mean, it's just
Brian,
ridiculous.
Or
Hello,
you've been
hello.
convinced that the
My
Earth is
throat's
flat
going
because
now.
you don't know how things work.
I don't know
Brian,
how things work.
the pilot knows how to calculate from one latitude, longitude to the other.
A
The pilot
two-dimensional,
knows how to
yes, I
do that.
agree with you. I agree with you,
Yes,
mate.
you don't know how to do that, though, Brian. No flat
Two-dimensional.
earther knows how to do that.
It's two-dimensional, Phil.
There's no flat earther who can do that.
It's two-dimensional. We don't have to,
That
mate.
should worry you.
No, it doesn't worry me.
Why doesn't that worry you?
Because you don't take depth into the consideration of the curvature of the Earth.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. It's two
You've got the longitude and
dimensions.
latitude.
Yeah.
You're stuck in the
Width.
sea. You got longitude and latitude. You know where the other one is. You know where you've got to
and
go.
breadth.
You got
Width
no
and
you
breadth.
got no idea
No
which bearings
depth,
to even
Phil.
take.
No depth, Phil. It's not 3D. Get over it. You don't live on the model that they've implanted into your brain.
The Earth's surface is 2D. Okay.
Thank you.
All surfaces are 2D.
Thank you.
Exactly. Yes.
It's
Yeah. So
two-dimensional.
now see if you can work out. Now see if you can work out longitude and latitude from one place to another.
Both
Come on,
of
Brian.
them.
Brian. I will sing your praises.
You
if you can do
just
that.
all heard it. They both admitted that the Earth's surface is two-dimensional. They both said that, didn't they?
Yep.
Yes, of course.
I rest my case.
Well, then
Thank you,
you
lads.
don't understand even elementary mathematics, because that something is two-dimensional does not mean that it is planar.
So we've got a secret third dimension, have we? That we can't use. Oh, come on, for fuck's sake. Listen, I don't
You
know
were
how
just
old
talking
you are.
about you were just talking
But
about depth and height.
You sound like you're in your 60s. I'm 68. I'm not hiding my age. We haven't got
Well,
fucking
you're
long
wrong.
left
I'm not
on
in my
this place.
60s, so
Well, all right. Let's say you're in your 50s then, or 70s, whatever. We haven't got long left on this place, mate. Stop living the fantasy. You don't have to promote it. You don't have to preach it. Just accept what whatever the fuck this is we're living on, it's generally horizontal and stationary, as everything fucking shows us. And stop all this bullshit they've fed you. Get it out of your head. It's ever so easy. Ever so easy.
I would listen to you, but then we'd both be wrong.
It's up to you.
If
You
you
can
had
go to
any
your
evidence,
fucking
if you had
grave
any evidence
with all
whatsoever
this complete
to validate
nonsense in
your
your
position,
head,
I
or
might
not.
listen to you. But you don't have any evidence whatsoever, so I'm not listening to you. It's that
There is
simple.
no, okay, if you want evidence, there is no measured curvature anywhere. There is no measured movement anywhere.
Absolute nonsense. What is,
Well,
and
if
I'll ask
you've
this question
got,
again.
if
What
you've
are the
got,
units of curvature? What are the
if
units of
you've
curvature,
got
Brian?
a
What are the
8
units of
inches,
curvature? What units is curvature measured in?
the one we're told that we supposedly have, 8 inches per mile
Nope, that's
squared the
not.
mile.
That is not a measure of curvature. The
It's
measure of
it's
curvature is units of is angle per unit distance. So
right.
how much your azimuth changes
Where
per
from?
unit of distance you travel. So, for instance, if the elevation of a star changes by a relatively constant amount as you move towards or away from the ground point, that would be an indication of reasonably constant curvature. So the 1 degree per 69 miles or 111.2 kilometers, that is exactly the units of curvature. That is what those are the units the curvature is measured in. That's that's curvature. So to claim that curvature has never been measured, observed, or demonstrated is a simple falsehood.
Okay, let me answer that now. We've got a light that is 2 miles away, a lamppost. We can see it in the distance. As we move closer to that on a horizontal road, is that light going to get higher in our observation?
Yes, but not at a linear rate relative to distance. It is going to get higher at a trigonometric rate relative to distance. So the fact that it is linear, the fact that it is linear with distance is what tells us that for stars is what tells us that the Earth is not flat. In the chat at 40 past the hour, I have given an extract from a 17th century sailing manual showing how sailors in the 17th century navigated using spherical trigonometry. So the claim that spherical trigonometry is only a recent innovation is false. The claim that sailors and navigators do not use spherical trigonometry is false. And the claim that the elevation angle of lights increases linearly with distance as we approach them is also false.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I had a cough.
You just got served, Mabbett.
I got what?
You got served, bro.
Served with what? Right, so let's carry this discussion on then. We're going to look at this street light rising as we move closer towards it. Now, if
yes,
we were
but it does not
directly
rise
under,
linearly. The angle does not increase linearly with distance. If you halve the distance, you don't double the angle.
right? So when you're moving closer to Polaris, you in your beliefs, you've also got the curvature of the Earth giving you the same effect, plus
we're not moving
the
closer to Polaris.
non-linear effect. Is that you would still have a non-linear effect, wouldn't you?
We're not moving closer to Polaris. It's too far away.
Due to what?
How do you know?
What would give us a non-linear?
How do you know how far it is? Hold on. Roohif thinks he's measured it. How far is it, Roohif?
Yeah, you said in our paradigm or in our model, we're moving closer to Polaris. No, we're not.
Well, yes, you are. If you're heading north, and it's going to be above your head.
Yeah, so we've gone 0.000000001%
Doesn't matter. You are going
closer.
closer to it. You've just admitted you're going closer to it. I never stated how close.
Okay, so we're
Because you
moving
don't know,
0.50
nor does anybody else in this realm how far that is.
If Earth were planar, then
The Earth is planar. There's no ifs about
no,
it.
it isn't.
It is because
And the
we
fact that you
use
can't, I can come up with about 4 different proofs that it is impossible that the Earth is flat. For anybody with even basic geometric skills.
Now, what I want to bring up again here is, remember what I said earlier. A bee will never try to convince a fly
Brian, you're
not
hot
to
micing.
eat shit.
It's Phil.
Who am I up?
Phil, you're hot micing.
I think you're a flat earther.
Phil,
Yes.
you are hot micing. You're hot micing.
Oh, okay. You can see my wife thinks that I'm
My bad,
crazy
that
for
wasn't.
yelling at flat earthers.
Who was I up miking over?
It was Phil who was hot miking.
Oh, not me.
But the
Let me just remind everybody. Hold on, Tony.
We can actually map the increase in angle as you approach a street light, and it is in no way similar to the change in angle as you approach a star. Right, the distance, the relationship between the distance to the light and the height of the light and the angle as you approach it, that relationship is nowhere near constant. It does not have a constant increase in elevation per unit distance, per element of distance you move towards or away from the star. So no, that explanation does not work.
I'd just like to remind everybody, a bee will never try to convince a fly not to eat shit. Just keep that with you, flat earthers.
While you may imagine yourself to be the mental equivalent of a bee or a fly, your analogy completely fails because I do not have the mental agility of an insect.
These people are beyond help. And another narrative that I use, if you imagine a battlefield and there are dead, and you're the medic, and there are dead and dying people all around you, don't waste your time with ones with all their guts hanging out and their legs blowing off. Go and help somebody that has only got a flesh wound.
If only there were a single word that described this concept, like triage.
These people are beyond help. You can't help them. You can't even make them see before they leave this place. They need to understand it isn't what we've been told. You can't help them. So just give up on them. Thank you for everybody listening.
All right, then you can go.
Let them stew in their own fucking ridiculous model.
Then you shouldn't be here.
Mate, I was just, like I said, it was 4 o'clock.
Well, we're here, and you don't want to talk to us, and you don't think that talking to us is useful. So you should just be quiet
because
and go
you
away.
can't listen, mate. You can't
Mate,
listen.
you should be quiet and go away. Your own argument just said you were just telling everybody else not to talk to us and not to listen to us. We're here, we're talking, and we're not going away. So the only sensible thing for you to do is for you to go away.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, fuck off, Mabbett.
Okay, well, good.
Oh, Lordy.
And that's why I haven't been into these chat rooms for years now, because I've realised you are beyond help.
Really, because people seem to know your name.
You're completely beyond help. I don't hide behind a pseudonym like you fucking lot. That is me. I'm a real fucking person. I've
Tony
got
is a
nothing to
pseudonym,
hide
isn't it?
whatsoever. You're not
Tony
a
is a
PhD,
pseudonym, isn't
and
it?
he's not a fucking professor. You're
I'll bet you
actors.
20 grand that I am a PhD, and I bet you
No, you're
don't have the
not,
guts to take
Tony.
up that bet.
Post your PhD in the chat then.
Once you put up your 20 grand, I'll be happy to.
Post your PhD in
No,
the
I want you to have the 20 grand in
Yeah.
escrow, and then I'll post my PhD. But you're not getting it for free. I'm
There
not
you
doxing
go.
myself for free. So good work. Actually, if you had any research skills at all, you would know exactly who I am.
I know you're an actor. That's all I need to know. You're here to stop this realization
He
that
told
we
me I
don't
was an
live on a
actor once
spinning
too.
ball.
Yeah.
I know
I love
that.
you,
Really,
Mabbett.
Cole?
Miss you, bro.
Yeah, he told me that I
I
was
kind
getting
of
paid by the government once.
I kind of like the when flat earthers were claiming that all Australians were actors. The thing I liked most about that was that our cricket team of actors was better than the English cricket team of
Fuck off, was
presumably
it?
non-actors.
Can't even bowl a good googly.
Yeah. So which country did the greatest leg spinner to ever play for?
Probably England.
And that would be
Lamb.
Lamb? Which Lamb are you talking about?
Roohif, did you really have to do that?
Yeah, sorry.
I have a question. Does anyone want to have an intelligent conversation this evening?
No, mate, you won't get one of them here.
What about?
My choice. Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to speak about like a simulation and where you can be quantumly entangled to these good simulations nowadays, like your digital twin and your energy, like what you're looking through, like what you're looking through, like say you're doing war games, like military simulation where they fly jets, and it has to be in sync all the way across the world in real time, like synced up where you're looking through these goggles, right? And yeah,
VR. Yeah, horizontal planes.
Put on this topic.
Yeah, it's painful for them.
Right on. Yeah, I was just thinking like light speed. It can't be if you can be in real time across the world, like bi-directional